Session 35, guys. That's
Oh,
yeah. I know.
we're still nowhere near beating these invasion guys.
Yeah, it's fine.
What invasion?
there is no invasion in Evershade, so yeah.
Yeah, you may as well just kind of same as. In fact, to be fun, it's an oddity, right? That it seems to have been the two places you went as a group. No invasion. Hmm.
What invasion? There's no invasion. What are you talking
Right.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's because of my magic rock.
about? Yes.
Do you see
that's
any
why.
tigers around here?
I was gonna say I'll give you $5 for the magic rock. Yeah. Oh dear. But anyway, so speaking of magic rocks, and by that I mean welcome to the Invasion Session 35. I am Ryan, the GM. It's the 13th of January 2021, and here are the players.
And with that enthusiasm, hi, my name's Gregor. I play Adair. He is a 5'9" air genasi, nice dark blue eyes. Hobbies include long walks in parks, wine samples, and like that.
Stripping villas of their possessions. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Losing bets.
losing bets. Yeah, rolls amazingly badly. Yeah, so that's Adair. Yeah, I don't like them anymore.
Speaking of magic rocks, my name is Alexander, and tonight I'll be playing Fleabite the Skaven. Still pretty terrible at everything.
Lies.
Speaking as a mother, no, I'm not. What I'm doing at the moment actually is trying to fix my facial piercing, which has fallen out. With me a second. No!
Standing by for Colin.
Why are you so difficult? Why are you? There we go. Hello.
That's Colin
I'm
just
Colin.
psyching himself up for the game.
Yes, I'm Colin, and I will be playing Vanger. Vanger, your dwarven, priesty guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do the group remember from last time?
Things
The
and
aristocrats.
stuff.
Literally.
We found out the librarian's family were no, their family. Oh no, wait, I've got
It was
this.
the father.
Yeah, the father symbol was the bat or something. Oh no, wow,
No.
my brain is
No.
not working.
So the dad had right. So we found that the
Right.
Lord Optera, his name does refer to a real noble family, and hence my comment was relevant for once. And he had the last known one of his line, sort of had died in a duel with the father of the librarian, on whomst our certain genasi leader hath been putting on moves, as it were.
I was waiting for the Ritz. Yeah.
Putting on the Ritz.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sing well enough, so just imagine sang.
Consider it done.
Okay, yeah, I have considered this and imagined it. So yeah, anything else to add to that?
That Richter von Rune has no photos of his hotmom.
Yep. I've seen the amount of clips that you took of the last session. That was
Clipping away.
quite funny. I just merely assume you get more triumph if you clip.
Not that I'm aware of. There'd be a lot more of those.
It's just every couple of every 5 seconds of the actual show is just clipped for your consumption. That's good. I like the one specifically about his hotmom. Yeah. For Richter. I don't even know. So yeah, anything else worthwhile happening?
Well, we were not dead. Some of us weren't dead.
Yeah.
Others are ambiguously not dead, but who knows?
Narratively
I would say Stable but critical.
Particularly stable. Cool.
And we managed to talk certain someone out of making a very brash decision in regards to Von Rune.
Yes. Dylan, who, or to say,
Talk out of it.
Darxus, who isn't with us this week for betrayal scheduling reasons, mostly. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have been interested to see where that went, but I also think it is very important as a group to try and make team decisions as well as impulsive decisions. Yes. So it would have been something. He definitely wants to ask why. I think, what was his word? How come I can see your dead mum? Is that it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
Mm-hmm. Very casual. Yeah, I don't think he has much opinion or respect or other such words for Von Rune or Xerxes. So we shall.
I would go so far as to describe him as a rogue. But then I think he might be a ranger. I can't remember.
He's neither, but sure.
Is he a
He's
bard?
like the only one other than you that's not a rogue.
Is he a bard?
He's, a
He's one of
bard.
those things.
Yeah,
He's a bard.
he's a
Listen,
bard.
there were only so many classes that character was going to be based on the personality, and I just wildly guessed in order.
I like that you went for
probability.
Edgelord first, though. That tickles me. That does.
Well, he
tickle
is roguish,
Mhm.
so
me. Mhm.
it would have made sense for him to be a rogue.
Yeah, the Xerxes part definitely roguish. The Cass part definitely felt more ranger-like.
Here,
Theo probably rogue mastermind, probably if anything, right? Yeah,
I can
fair.
see it.
Or arguably, Alexander's only contribution to 5e class design, which would be the administrator class that he's probably working on. All the
I mean,
powers of bureaucracy.
It's too strong. I spoke to Matt Mercer, and it's just like it would be too much for the meta.
Uh-huh. Even that comment's too much for the meta.
I don't know. They listened to me when I said gun,
Mhm.
and they went, "Yeah, fair enough. We'll make that a talent."
We have yet
They
to
did. It
see
was fine.
Power Word Gun appear officially in print, which I am saddened
True.
about so far, because
But
it's
they
only a
did
matter of time.
decide to just make a feat where you can go, I no longer have to reload my gun.
Mhm.
Also, I could shoot it at point blank range. Deal with this.
I mean, that's fair, right? Given what you can do with a crossbow, like a hand crossbow.
Oh my god, they
Mhm.
should have referred. That's what they should have named the talent. Gunner is so dull. It
Mhm.
doesn't. It's not descriptive at all. Anyone can be a gunner. You don't need that talent to be a gunner. But if you
Mhm.
called it "deal with this bitch" or something like that, that really conveys a sense of
Well,
what it's like.
sure, yeah. Could easily have been called Han, my boy, as well. But
No shot first.
these are the times that we live in. I was actually going to make a reference there, but I won't because I think we're still within the spoiler period for Mandalorian. So, anyway, so anything else worth mentioning, or is that everything worth mentioning about last session? No other revelations or black holes to deal with?
I think some of us are very sleepy.
Yes, the ones that
Yeah.
were fatal, if you will, are deeply exhausted by the affair. So, yeah, I think these are good.
Roll for circumference.
You do lose a level of exhaustion every long rest, which is handy. And then you get rid of some of the debilitating effects of such, which is nice. But yeah. Anything else? Are we good?
I think we're pretty.
Yeah, I think that's it.
pretty on
Yeah,
point.
Sure, yeah.
I'm sure Dylan would agree as well with everything that was said.
I suppose we should mention the sort of the date plan and the carriage that she's very insistent that she will be providing.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
We eases if
So-
yeah.
That may be something an opportunity we If it may not,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
depends. What's plausible? I don't see. I don't really like Vanger's chances of sneaking into an estate. I'll be honest with
I mean, do you have walk through trees yet? Because that would be handy, right? Just find a tree near enough the estate. Find a tree in the estate.
you. We have walk up trees though.
I mean, it has served Fleabite well.
Fleabite Masters.
I still had a spell slot in that last fight. And that was one of the things I had considered using.
Or just stick to the cave ceiling. Yeah.
Yes.
Fair. I mean, also, there's always Jack Human that you could always just have throws all over the fence of the estate if need be. If it comes right down to it, I guess you'd have got that as an option.
I could slowly levitate someone once a day, and then the others just wait on the other side.
Just hope it's not higher than 20 feet of a wall. Yeah.
Or at least it's close enough to 20 feet that we can sort of reach up and grab.
Also, it's quite like. So, the way I always imagined Levitate to work is a bit like the way I imagine certain repulsor bikes in Star Wars to work, where they kick off the ground a certain deal. So they need something to kick off, right? For example, I think a lot of speeder bikes are quite low to the ground, whereas I think Swift bikes might be the ones that can go much higher. But anyway, regardless of what the actual terminology is, there's a thing about repulsor tech. So, technically, if you stacked crates 10 feet high and then put somebody on top of the crate, then cast Levitate there, surely the point of reference is the 10 foot up, right?
I would assume
so.
Right. So, my theory about levitating a bunch of people with Levitate, like this is why the Air Genasi probably could build the highest towers, right? Because
they just keep levitating up.
Yeah, the one at the bottom just levitates the first guy, and then they just daisy chain it all the way up, right?
And
then everybody hopes nobody wobbles, or there's not like a strong wind where they all just scatter. But so anyway, regardless of the construction methods of the Air Genasi long since gone, let's have a look at what goals are in place. See if we can make heads or tails of it all. So currently we have Thaki, Optera, connection, the box as a general goal, which I'm sure means a lot. We then have attempts to recover the box from the cave. We then also have Fair for Barris. It's nice to see back on the board. Find out what the package was. And then enlist Utu or Eric to help in the Barris quest. Do I remember how he spoke? No. But it'll be interesting trying to get back into his mindset.
I mean, we can find that.
Then we have the personal goals. Adair has impressed Lady Izazith Obis Thaki. We have Xerxes' win Cynthia's heart, which now kind of seems more like he's going to be wrestling with Anubis for that. Fleabite has find out how to make signature / unique poison / potion. And the Vanger has learn more about the giant bats. When did they appear? And always big and aggro. Connected to the Optera line? ? So yeah, those are our goals. We'll actually just clear the empty. I will even shimmy you up.
Shimmy.
Yeah. There we go. So, those are our goals in place. And I think. Well, wait, we're left in a wee cliffhanger in the library. Do you want to go and open there, or do you want to have retreated somewhere to chat about things in private away from said library? Because we can just open where you would want to be. What's the plan as a gang? Luckily, we're all together in this.
Should we open back at the Hotel Madame Emerald's?
Yeah, the Emerald Inn.
The Emerald Inn.
Why not? Plan. Yeah, let's just have you all in the lounge. We'll just change to there, and we'll see how that goes.
Would this be after a long rest for?
Depends if you want to lose a day.
Ooh,
yeah, that's.
Have a short rest, you'll be fine.
If only that worked, yeah. But yeah, so
no!
We'll open up in the Emerald Inn lounge. I think on the way back, probably Xerxes mentioned something about needing to do something narratively excusable, and wanders off for a bit.
Kidnaps people for his evening audience.
Just to provide more staff, just businesses that may not be looking for staff. So yeah,
He's discovered that selling children is lucrative.
yeah, because apparently, like, you give the child money and then they give you money back. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good system.
There are no child labour laws in Evershade.
No, because until Dylan required that there were no children in Evershade. So, oh
A
dear.
bold strategy.
Yes, indeed. So he is now solely responsible for children in Evershade. But anyway,
Choice of
yes,
And that probably explain why he's busy this week.
yeah, yeah.
Charlie
Busy.
Morrow's-
I hear you. This is what happens, Dylan, by the way, if you miss a session. You just get shit talked by everybody else. It's partly the true facts. So anyway,
I would never shit talk anyone.
this is true. I've said it behind Colin's back a lot that he's a stand-up guy. But anyway, the scene. Have you ordered anything from Madame Emerald?
I paid last time. I'm not saying I'm not going to pay this time. All I'm saying, I paid last
Mhm.
I mean, I'd be happy with some water just now, just to quench my thirst. Nothing too over dramatic.
Mhm.
It wasn't that long since we had food and stuff.
Yeah.
time. That's fair.
Yeah, I think he's literally had food, then left to go to the library, I think.
I think it was a decent feast.
Yeah, it was.
So maybe just have some water at the table.
Just to quench my thirst and discuss things. And maybe
Mhm.
Fleabite tries to brew some tea.
I don't know if you want to sit as far to the end. We'll see how this
True.
goes. See how it goes.
Well, maybe under Madame Emerald's supervision.
Under the table.
Yeah.
That's not good for business having a rat in the kitchen. Like, yeah.
Probably not. Probably not.
I've seen a film about that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it was
It goes fantastically.
Spider-Man 2.
Yep. Too many Spider-Man. I think was the subtitle. Yeah.
Too many. Too many Spider-Man.
Yes. Anyway, at the
Okay.
table. God, we'll get to the RP at some point. All of those non-viewers.
It's going to be one of those nights.
It's always one of those nights, Alexander.
What?
Doing a
Not
thumbs up.
always.
See it.
Oh, I can see it. I always know when you're giving me sass.
Never you.
He
What?
senses it like a Jedi.
Live off.
Anyway, in the scene, these are sat at the table, and the place is busier than normal, right? It's not like chock-a-block or anything, but it's definitely there's now the murmuring of the background noise that's loud enough that you could comfortably speak without being overheard, if that makes sense.
That's good.
Yeah.
Business is picking up around here.
I'm
Wonder if-
wondering, it something to do with the musics.
I was just thinking that might be our colleagues doing. Maybe that's where he's got into. Anyway, narratively.
It sounds like narrative
No,
I'm giving him lots of scope to have reasons to not be here.
So we're on day 3 or 4.
I think this is day 3. You've been paid for 3 days, I think. So
Yeah.
this is day 3 still. This is
We're
the
on
end of
our
day
third
3.
day. Coming up the start of day 4. So we
This
trip
is-
back to that cave if we need to go.
Will this not take full day?
Aye, probably.
But there is no guarantees that the Richter will pull you back this time.
I
No,
like,
but there's
so
no
let's just
rule.
take a moment to listen and analyze everything Adair just said. There is no guarantee that Richter will pull you back. This
Yeah.
Adair has a date.
Oh, I know. I get it. I get it. Yeah, like no, but in this occasion, at the very least, there should be less there would be
Trouble
less
in
danger.
cave.
Yes. So presumably we could get in, get out relatively smoothly, provided the thing weren't too heavy.
Hmm. Maybe if you are traveling through night, do not take break. Maybe this will speed up time.
I'd say. That was a mix of Colin's real yawn and his. Well, I mean, it's possible, but I don't know if I have it in me, truth be told.
Looking at the Fleabit, he is not looking so good himself.
So, but yeah, it's just like.
Yep.
And I think we can. I think we can count out our former help. Yeah.
They are still on ship, no?
As far as I know, they are still. Well, I don't think they're quite out of the woods yet, but they're in one piece. But even if they're up and about by this point, I don't think we can count on them being eager to join us after the way that relationship got started. So perhaps we
I'm
have to hire
thinking
some
that
other assistants.
I'm thinking that the Theo might not have any more employees in which he is wishing to see get harmed.
Aye, he might be somewhat concerned by developments as well, but sure, I'm sure that can all be resolved. Xarxus doesn't seem to be in any rush to get out of commitments, unless that's what he's doing now. But I don't think so.
It is not known yet.
We shall see indeed. But I think we can count on having the assistance of EO and whoever else might work for this group, or assuming it is a group. Anyway, we could perhaps enlist some hired hands just to do a little bit of lifting, to take a bit of the edge off the work. Because I'm assuming whatever requires a person-sized box is probably of a person-ish weight.
I'm wondering if it's worth sending message to the Theo to just send some staff out to cave to pick up said box.
I should like to have at least someone accompany them just in case there is any danger.
We
If
could
some of the
always
back
ask the
returns, for
Theo to
instance.
join them.
True.
That way we can focus on trying to figure out the mystery of everything here in the town.
Yes, I see your logic. Do you have an easy way to send word to them, or should we?
I'm thinking if we are writing letter and having the madame organize someone to take. Actually, where is the Xerxes child, the Falcon? Perhaps,
Yes, the small one that does the pouring.
perhaps she is able to run to Theo.
My concerns are two. Firstly, I don't know if Emerald's particularly eager to start with her even for a few hours because I think she's coming pretty. And also, I don't know if I'd want to send a small child running around the city. It's
She is.
getting
City
dark.
is safe.
I mean, it's always a bit dark. But it's getting darker.
But the city is full of the nobles and the good people, so there has not been any trouble since we have been walking around. I would have noticed if there had been signs of the dangers.
Just a raised eyebrows.
Well, Adair's going based on the aspect he hasn't seen any like thieves' cant anywhere. You know.
Okay. I'll grant you, it doesn't seem like the most troublesome place in terms of I don't imagine there are too many tavern brawls around these parts and what have you. But there's
No.
always something lurking about in the shadows. Any city, town.
She is a wise child. She has survived for so long and on
If you
before
want,
having job here. It is maybe worth seeing, unless the Medium Emerald has someone who can do for us.
Well, I'm sure she probably knows some couriers or what have you, since I have to imagine some of her guests request that kind of service, so she might be able to provide us with some. We'll ask her.
Ah, well, I shall go to room and get parchment and paper and ink and stuff.
Yes.
And I shall be back in a moment.
Okay, yeah, so he vanishes off upstairs. Anger and Fleabite. Any, Brotherhood of the Cave chat.
Yeah. Well, haven't had much of a chance to talk to you since that. How are you? How are you feeling? You took a particularly nasty whack or two.
Yes. Fleabite has been hit. Once, twice even, maybe.
Aye.
What is must search for? Why must find box, yes?
The Lord Tanat. He like sort of looks around a bit, just hope nobody's in, but doesn't look like it. He was requesting us to find a box which had to be delivered to him. If you recall, the carriage we encountered on the road had carrying it. We'd agreed to find it for him. Now, I think that may well have been it in that cave.
And
But
you must recover for Packlord that wants to celebrate, marry to other Packlord sister, yes?
we think so. We don't really know. To be honest with you, no one's been very forthcoming about the wedding, other than that it's happened. And but the nobles haven't been particularly eager to share details. We a little concerned by the fact that the box does have a certain coffinishness to its appearance. But one has to assume people don't generally give bodies as wedding gifts, so.
Have you spoken to Smith Packlord, yes?
Smith?
Who help us fight bad things, yes.
I'm actually slightly. Do you mean Richter or?
No, I mean Cantor Belem.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. That makes sense. Did help us fight. Yeah, pirates. Yeah.
And he did say
right.
that he had like Smiths was his thing.
Oh yes, no, you're correct. Yeah. This watch. Yeah. Oh no. Yes. I think we discussed that, but don't know how eager I am to seek him out, given that he did seem to require a bit of secrecy for the sake of his gestures sort of vaguely with his hand, trying to think up the word. The whole thing with the sister and what have you. I don't think he'd be very eager to have us trotting up to his door, considering that we do probably stand out more than most visitors to the city group.
Yes. Beard thing, very obvious. But some Fleabite, very good sneak, yes.
I suppose you can be a sly one. I mean, maybe you could stay out of sight and.
You are not great city nest dweller. You are easy sneak out. Fleabite live in many city nests, able to find small corridors, yes.
Well, okay, that's a fair point. If we do we even know where to start looking for him?
I'm trying to remember. I'm sure he said something about if we needed to contact him, but I can't remember.
I don't remember anything like that. I know you dumped an unconscious man at the healers, like a hospice type thing. And did you just leave a note?
We did leave a name, if I recall.
Yeah, maybe you did leave that you were staying at the Emerald Inn.
He wasn't unconscious though.
Cantor? Oh, it was Eskel. Sorry,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
left.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm getting myself confused by that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I think we're
Um,
all quite confused.
yeah.
Did
Did
because
he
he
say where
left an
he
email.
was staying? Because I don't think he did he? I'm trying to think if I named another
No,
one.
I don't think so.
Discussed this last time, and it was Warren Can.
Warren Canty was
Yeah, Warren
really dumb,
Canty.
really dumb pseudonym. That he's.
I remember commenting that it sounds like a place in Michigan or something like that.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, Warren Canny. That's not a Michigan accent. I know that we do have an American in our group who isn't here right now. I apologize unreservedly. for
Seize the moment
insulting
while he's not here.
Yes. Be the worst Michigan you can
for
be.
insulting the great state of Michigan. So yeah, we have a name for him at least,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
I don't think he gave us any details because he definitely wanted to carry it out in as much secrecy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I suppose you could always just leave notes in a whole bunch of different inns, right? If you really wanted to. You
Run
could just...
around shouting his
Subtle.
name.
Yeah, but saying Warren Canty isn't saying Lord Cantor Balem, come on down.
True.
You know? So, yeah, you could do that trying to get his attention.
Would it be worth hitting up the Smith shops first?
I mean, yes.
But wasn't it Smith's in his city that
True.
his
Cork.
family owned?
Yes.
Cork.
Yep, that is correct. He owned Smith's in Torque. Several of them. Well, I said like 12 or 16 or some random number I said at the time.
Hmm.
Several.
Yeah.
Um,
Remember, he was sponsored to come here.
yes, by the Watchers, wasn't it?
Yes.
Do we know nothing about?
Nope.
But we have had
Right.
several party members that we no longer have who know about them, so maybe we could seek out.
Back to the library, lads.
Sorry, Lady Tacky. Another thing.
One more thing.
What do you know about the Watchers?
Watchers and a family that own a lot of Smith shops, and like, where would this person be located? And
Yeah, like hypothetically, if say Lord Belem of old, you know, who moved to Torque with the king, or way back when, then became really good at Smiths, and then got sponsored by the Watchers. Police found out about those fours. Then travelled all the way here to look for maybe his sister who's getting maybe married. Yeah, where would he be if he was hiding under a pseudonym in town? Process that, please.
I were the keys.
She just says 42 and then leaves.
Catches fire.
Yeah, just catches fire, just melts down. Yeah.
It's now a
Fantastic.
David Lynch film.
What do you mean no?
Yeah, you've not seen much of season 3 or Firewalk with me yet, so I won't reference anything too specific. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know how fruitful hunting for him is going to be. It might be useful, but I think there's always a risk of uncovering him. So, what are our other options in that regard? Like, who?
I mean, speaking like just now, we know that there is a box in a cave that might be the one we're looking for. Other than that, I don't think we've gotten that far.
No,
Like,
no, we have not.
Right, so
Yeah.
let's put it this way. Let's quantify what you've done. Right, so this is like the end of day 3. Met a bunch of people. You've risked people's lives. You've had another meeting with a king of another country, and you have obviously got the group involved. This is mostly Dylan's fault. Got the group involved in more Von Rune drama in another city. Which is great. Love it. You've learned about some noble drama, right, between some houses, right? House of Terra and House
True.
Naki. You've learned about that. You've learned that they aren't in power, right? Because obviously the Tonan house is in power. What else have you learned? Let me try and quantify. So Terra still should be alive, or was alive until Von Rune stepped in. What are you going to say? What night?
I was going to ask, what night is your date?
That's night of day 4.
Tomorrow night.
Yes. Unless it delays or cancels again.
Let's not do that again.
Now, let's also quantify that you know that Von Rune has teleport technology with him, right? So getting back and forth to the cave isn't exactly
That is true.
that out there. If you
Oops, we left something in the cave. Can you teleport me back?
and you were given something that you could possibly barter with, right, Adair?
You mean my lovely, nothing that anyone's seen thing?
That thing that I definitely didn't get. Yes, that. I'm just saying, like, if you were looking to sweeten the deal, if you were worried about what you had to offer Von Rune, then keep in mind you were given something fancy, and never mind just
Adair has things.
I know that Fleabit hasn't taken yet.
I know, I'm like, Fleabite, you got everything. I got one thing.
Yeah.
No!
I mean, equally though, he did seem interested in Fleabite, right? So, like, there could be
Right, we'll sell him Fleabite.
there
That's
could be
fine.
bargaining. So there is that. Arguably, you'd maybe be willing to pay him to take Fleabite, depending on the situation. The downside would be the controversy of Glint and Fleabite, which is still to be
Yes.
negotiated. Yes.
Basically, Fleabite can't go back there.
Yeah, the Tanana States, I know Fleabite zone for a bit, at least until Fleabite develops fancy or disguise.
I could disguise him. I've got a disguise kit.
So does Fleabite, actually.
Yeah, I think just washing
just
him would
that-
be good enough, right?
We could always shave him.
Oh no.
That would be mentally scarring for anyone that saw.
Yeah. No, thank you. And possibly just visibly full of scars, arguably, given Fleabite's life.
Probably.
For
That's true.
Fleabite. So again, I'm getting flashbacks to Rocket Raccoon again.
Mhm.
But yeah, so you have that on your side, right? Because at least Adair and Von Rune are still in like reasonable standing, and Von Rune seems to care about Fleabite insofar as Fleabite seems tied to everything. Beyond that, you do know where A-Box is, and you have been told that like that Von Rune has dealt with that person, Lord Optera.
Yeah, which
So-
does suggest that it would be relatively safe, although, as I say, we can't be sure that, more bats wouldn't have come back to roost or something.
It's
So,
more about Fleabite and what Fleabite should be able to contribute to that conversation. Fleabite is aware of what might have happened at that cave since.
Ooh.
Does Alexander remember?
bat races.
Think so. I hope I'm on the right page.
Okay, let's see. Uh-huh.
I don't know. They haven't asked.
Yes, that's what was discussed against players.
We don't know that we don't know that you know to anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing you're meaning something about the pack.
Yes. That entire pack of
told you something.
wolves that were going to go. Like, remember, Jack Human was going to run back and get.
He was coming back with.
Mhm. Specifically for the hunters.
Yes.
Uh,
So now there's a lot of
them now.
there's a lot of narrative space for Fleabite. You're like, yeah, I just walked in and shanked them. You're welcome.
until they like walk away in the background, or like they're at a bar scene or something, just out in in the corner of the shop when you're talking away to Jack Human, because yeah, we were told that they
It's a
survived.
ghost.
Oh my god, it's their exact doubles.
They
But
told me they had twins.
that were the same things as them. Oh no. But yeah, so arguably the cave has a lot going for it. Also, hello, thank you for the lurk. But yeah, the options you've got
Kind of person would.
are reasonable, quite frankly. Keep in mind, you also have so Tonan, we have a lead on where it is. Is there any way you can get us there faster? Like if he's really wants to, because obviously that'd be bad if you got there and there was nothing. So
Yes.
whereas
I
Von
don't
doesn't
think we
seem to
can do
care.
that because I don't want to call in a favor from a powerful
Hmm.
and weird dude that could turn out to be fuck all. It could turn out to be worthless.
Yeah, agreed.
I think if we're going to do that, we should do it when we're absolutely certain that we need to.
Though I did realize if we catch his mum, she has uber power.
When you say catch his mum,
Well, if we bump into the mum again, just look for anyone
I'm
with
flying,
two.
Jack. Yeah, like arguably, Cynthia could be an angle. Mm-hmm. Oh dear. Yep. Mm-hmm. Bump. Mm-hmm. Oh dear. But yes, could be an angle. Definitely could be.
But we still like don't know. We don't have any like motive, motive behind why it was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Like we still need to find out. We're basically relying on finding out what it is will then lead us to why it was taken.
I think I do have a potential insight there, because if Optera really was who he said he was, one of his proclaimed family, then he would be nobility, and surely any noble, especially one that's sort of in exile and hiding, is going to have potential motive to try and gain some leverage over the most powerful family. It could be something like, my I've been erased from the family line, and my heritage has been taken from me, and I demand that you reinstate me to my estates, and if you do that, I give you back this important object that you're missing. It could be something like that. I don't know. I'm not saying for sure that I think it is that, but I do think we have an inkling that it might be related to nobility. That it hasn't just been some random vagabonds, or it hasn't just been bats taking it for no reason. I think we can say there is a good chance that it is.
You're right. We do have a lead with
Yeah.
Optera. That's an avenue that we should
It's
be.
also fair to say, it's not like we have like an ironclad
Mhm.
idea of what it was taken for. Yeah, that is completely fine. But yeah, I think we have an angle at the very least to start. Yeah, work.
It's almost like that's a goal.
Imagine.
What if?
Does what's it called? Evershade have like the blue plaques for important places? Just go there and be like, this is where the last Optera
Okay, so
holding was.
you want all
This
the
is where
kind
the
of like
jewel happened.
the things you can right click on and learn all the lore about.
Yes.
I believe it's called a library. Does it have fast travel?
No, but Sunday does. So there is that. Right, okay, so
Is he back from getting that letter yet?
sure, yeah, he comes back downstairs if there's nothing else discussed between you two in secret cave language, and then he's reconvene.
Here we are, gentlemen. The paper and parchment and all the stuff for the writings. So, what you been talking about?
I'm just wondering over what our next avenue of investigation.
Well, have I had the chance to talk to you about the cave properly?
Not really.
Yeah. Please tell, is there anything interesting of the cave that is done in our comrades and made Fleabit look so rough for wars?
Well, I believe we mentioned that we suspect the box may indeed have been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should perhaps. I mean, it's possible that your friend Van Rune has taken the box, having found it there.
I'm believing this is something that he might have said to us, no?
I don't think. Did he?
No, he's just saying, like, I think what
he
Gregor
would
means
have
is
said
that.
if he had.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry. No, I follow. How do you think he would have felt obligated to tell you anything.
It is interesting that you say this. I do not see why he would take box and not mention, especially if he is finding you there and then keeping this secret. And if he did take, I'm not sure how we would prove other than sneaking onto his airship, which is not easily done.
Well, it wasn't going to be my suggestion that we do that, to be fair. What I was thinking was more we have a good chance of knowing where the box may be. If it's still in the cave, then, as we were discussing earlier, we could perhaps send someone out to collect it and use that time.
Hmm, yeah.
But I would like one of us to be here. But Felipe, you were already out at the cave or nearabouts when we encountered.
Yes, yes. Fleabite. Escape from strange man thing, yes.
And
How did you escape, Fleabit?
Fleabite, run and jump.
Up a tree.
Yes, yes.
I'm knowing this is your good to go plan.
uh,
You managed to escape on your own, Fleabit. This is most impressive.
Fleabite is always most impressive, yes, yes. But in this case, there was a man thing beast.
Main thing
Oh.
is
Some man thing, but not like most that Fleabite meet.
what
You
was
mean he
different
was human?
about them? Sorry.
Sorry, what was that?
I was just making a joke. A was human because everything you meet is different.
That's fair. Yeah, and I was just asking, how is it?
Man thing beast was large and jump much further high than most man things.
See,
Was he blue?
He was man thing, yes, yes. Peach pink color.
Ah, not Air Genasi. I was hoping for a moment.
that's understandable.
Not blue wind thing.
If this man thing was living near the cave and assisted you in escaping, would you perhaps be able to gain their assistance retrieving the box?
Getting their assistance would be less difficult than getting the box back from them, Fleabite thinks. Yes, yes.
I think they might be liable. Yes, understandable.
They have no love for man things, yes, yes. Or similar to man things, like blue wind thing or beard thing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well,
So
that's
Fleabit,
unfortunate. That seemed like a promising approach.
Yeah, they only love flea bites. Says so by flea bite.
But perhaps you could talk them into assisting. If they were assisting you, they've already proven willing to do that. We don't have to. Don't have.
The man thing beast and its I was trying to think of a sort of skeeveny word for peoples and realized that the closest thing would be pack, but that's
Yep.
almost too close for what I'm trying to avoid.
Yep. Yeah, but here's the thing: we wouldn't read into it when you said it
Mhm.
because it was you that's saying it, so that's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
get
Man beast thing pack things might still be there, might be at cave, yes. They had great dislike for your companion peoples.
Okay. Yeah. It's true that Walter was rather eager to. He was a little bit in the, I'd say, trigger happy side, but I don't. Rapier happy, more of a stabby kind of chat, really. Very zealous, handy with a sword, but yes,
Twitchy scabbard.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Twitchy
Flitted,
twitchy scaffold finger. Maybe not someone who has made a lot of friends out there in the world. I can understand he's probably got quite a few. Rather avoid him, but
Flitted,
he won't be around.
if your main pick people are returning to cave and not finding anyone, what would they do? Do you know where their pick home is?
In woods, yes.
Would you be
But
able
they
to?
would do anything to take away from Great Pack Lord.
So if they return to the cave and find no one and only a box, do you think they would be taking this box?
Depends what is in box, yes.
Fortunately, this is something we are not knowing, isn't it?
If box is empty, Fleabite not think that they would bother, yes. Fleabite would not.
If they
Mm.
opened it and it didn't mean anything to them, there's every chance they'd be quite happy to be rid of it. Who's to say that whatever's inside that would be of any use to anyone other than Nan? But let's assume that they're willing to help you, this group of people, and I can understand if they're a group of people that are living out in the damn woods, they're probably not in the best of terms. That's fair. But if they don't know that it's going to the novel, see any need to tell them. And it seems like they'd be quite happy to help yourself out, probably because you were running away from the nobles, I would suspect. There's no need. I mean,
Why
look,
must we help nobles, though?
I don't give it.
The
Other
Pack
than-
Lord does not do well.
The whole reason for helping was for information to get to the Paris, was it not?
That's why I'm willing to help. Anything to get us a little bit closer.
But if this is how you say loop around, should we maybe not be trying the men we meeting in the pub, the Lyric Utor? I believe
Oh
someone was
yes,
mentioning this name.
Ucher Eric. Yes, he was a chatty fellow.
Yeah.
A little bit, but he might be able to assist us in some way. I do wonder if perhaps he could tell us more about the Optera family. Should we perhaps look?
It is not too late in evening.
I suspect it's never too late in the evening to find them out and about.
And we know which pub he is liking.
Well, I'm willing to give it a shot if you are. Do you want to send that message just in case, and we can discuss this with Theo if and when Theo and or others get back to us.
I don't know what you're implying there, Colin.
Vanguard doesn't know what he's implying.
Yeah. What do you want to do with this parchment then?
Yeah, so just to clarify, what am I putting in this parchment? Am I asking Theo to send more staff that he has to venture to the cave to save us from doing it?
I think it would be, yeah, but also sort of asking him to attend, just
to go with.
Yeah, just to keep
Yeah,
an
we
eye
need-
on it all.
We need someone we can trust.
Yeah, exactly that sort of idea. Should be safe now.
Oh no, it's totally safe. We wouldn't say
as
otherwise.
far as we know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a cave.
Obviously, we know that he doesn't have actually any employees.
I mean, we know that he can get them.
Aye.
Listen, we're trusting his skills.
An army of children marches to this cave.
I mean, no, if we were asking Xarxes,
And Theo and Xarxes are totally different people.
You're right.
So
And what
Yes.
would Cass have to say about any of this, we'll never
and
know.
Ben
she got sacked,
had
so it doesn't matter.
something to do with Glory.
Sure.
I'm not sure. Anyway,
Yep. It's good. It's good. I'm liking it. It's a good plan. Yep. Basically put all the danger onto the people who aren't here. I like it.
I like it too. Okay, so I'll put in the note that we rely on your awesomeness to venture to this cave and retrieve the box package that is there and return it to Evershade under the guise of darkness. I don't know.
something to that effect.
Yeah, something to that effect.
Maybe ask him to send a reply if he's able to, to confirm either way.
Yes. Please confirm if you're able to or not ASAP.
Sounds good.
Okay, so send a letter to Theo regarding cave box recovery plus reply. Okay. Oh. Mm-hmm.
To the Emeraldin, where we will.
Yeah, that's probably worth specifying, just in case. It's like just writes a deer on the letter. Just goes up the street. He is a wind genasi.
So, right, you write off that. Where do you send this?
I would approach Madame Emerald,
Okay.
who is, of course, a lovely lady with wise ways of getting things done. She has been a resource to our.
Her hand's already out.
For God's sake.
Yep.
She wasn't even like looking at you, or like she was off in a dream, and she just absently put her hand out without even thinking
I
about it.
approach. Yeah,
One of
I
those
approach.
fortune telling
our-
machines at a fair. Yeah.
So I will rest a gold piece in her hand.
She looks down at it and she goes, "But this must be important then." Jingles or bangles.
That is quite important that this message gets to our comrade, the Theo. You are knowing this man.
He blinks. Goes, "No."
He is mean. What's his business called? I've totally spaced on that.
It's like
Solutions
Intel Inc.
Interactive, Limited something like that. That's close.
Yeah,
Aye.
Limited Incorporated or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Adair totally says that. Like, duh. Dad, he is knowing. He's known in this the town.
She's gonna make a roll to see if she does know. Right?
Oh, she's making the roll.
Yeah, she'll make a roll. Yeah. To see her
Cool.
Intel
I was
conglomerate.
like,
Yeah.
Adair make
such-
a roll. Oh, we're good.
It's such a great name for something that
Yeah, I
clearly doesn't exist.
Just had it written down way back.
So yeah, she goes, "Oh no, I think I know the place. Aye. I thought that building had been abandoned for ages, then it just appeared a couple of years back. Never been inside myself though."
He must. That must have been when he started up his business. He is a good person.
It's a conglomerate anyway, when it's at home.
Adair just nods.
And looks at you confused. And she goes, "Sounds like some kind of fancy fruit.
No, he's not.
One of them Aztalush fruits, you know?" He stares at you as if, of course you agree.
Of course. It is please. If you can get this letter to him as soon as possible, this would be most appreciated.
Falana! She just screams Falana. And you hear like a pot hitting something else metal, and then some stompy feet, and then from the beads that lead to the kitchen area, because they're clearly beads now. And it goes through, half covered in beads, half not, and she stares up and goes, "It's Falcon, not Falana. Falcon." She goes, "Yes, yes, take this letter from the nice man."
Here you are going, Falcon, he says under his breath.
I think there's just like a triangle of staring where you stare at her and say it under your breath, and Madame Emerald stares at you with like dagger eyes without saying
The
anything.
letter
And
stares.
Did she hear
Falcon
me?
stares at Madame Emerald to see what she's gonna do. There's just this weird three-way stare, and then goes, "It's cold outside." And then it looks like Madame Emerald looks around. Goes, "Well," he pulls off like various cardigans, and just like wraps her in them. She still looks like she's wearing the exact same number of cardigans. Let's face it. And then it's almost like that scene from a Cliffhanger, the staring, or any Kill Bill moments that everybody remembers with the zoom in on the eyes. And then like wearing two of her, outer cardigans, I guess. Falcon looks like she's wearing two shoulder capes now, and takes her letter, and she goes, "Where is it going?"
He's going to the office of the Theo, and then I repeat the business name, which I can. Intel Conglomerate.
Can you say it
Which
with
I'm
his
applying.
accent?
I knew you were going to say that. Da, he's going to the Intel Conglomerate.
Conglomerate.
Just because you asked, he did that. You know this. You understand.
That's that's what we're here for. This is the content. What are you talking about? So she looks at the letter and looks up at you and kind of like wipes her nose with her sleeve, probably of the cardigan now, and then says, "I can't read, so I don't know where this is going. And I don't know if Theo. I knew a Huck, but he's gone now."
The man is Xerxes. Do you know the place he is employed from?
No, I thought you just had money.
Do we have we could maybe make a roll for telling her the.
You've literally got you have maps. You literally have a map of the
Let's
town.
give her a map.
And you have
give
been
her-
to his place, so you can literally
wait, you
just
can't
mark
really-
it.
No, but she could understand the map well
Yeah,
enough.
you
just-
could draw a map. Like she probably
Yeah.
made maps as a an urchin. So for her and her urchin-like team or pack of urchins, yes.
So I'll take out my map and I'll show her on the
I
map.
believe it's a
where-
swaddle of urchins. I don't believe that. I just thought it'd be fun.
A swaddle.
Swaddle. A crime.
Surely it'd be a klept of urchins.
Right? Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, sorry to all urchins watching.
Yeah, to any
I apologize.
And
Korean
also,
children.
I'm just going to put a wee F in chat for Huck, apparently, for Huck.
Rip. See, Vanger said there would be things. I mean, he might have just fallen down or got cholera. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you know,
Taken away by bats, because that seems to be the #1
Hey.
killer.
considering the size of the bats,
Yeah.
child.
We
Oh,
don't know the size of Huck, but let's not get into the dimensions of Huck. Yes, so you take out the map that you obviously bought, I think, originally from Madame Emerald. You
Yes.
mark on it.
Luckily, paper and pen are still there. So if she wants to do a map, like her own wee copy.
No, she's
that way
happy
we
taking
will-
yours.
Yeah, I thought she would be.
Yeah. She goes, so it's this one, not that one. She points to like one of the squares on the map and not another.
If I see that she's pointing at the right one, I will agree.
Yeah, she's pointing at the one you pointed at, basically.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah,
And is this
So
where the
you-
market is just now? She points like, the empty square on the map, which is the square of town.
neat. The market is. Oh no, this is the market, and we are here at the inn. And I'll point to the inn.
Mhm, mhm.
She gets her lay of the land proper.
She goes, okay. Looks up at you. Looks at Madame Emerald and looks back at you and goes, what do I get?
Adair kind of looks to Madame Emerald, who I assume now just turns away.
And she just shrugs in that kind of, well, she's asked you.
If you are doing this, I will give you silver now and silver when you get back with my map.
How about silver now? And I keep the map, and a silver when I come back. And I'll show you I still have the map.
Why would you want to keep my map?
She looks at it and goes, because that'd be my map.
You are wanting my map. Well, at this point, I sort of think to myself, I've seen most of the town, like where I need to go.
Also, you can buy another map.
Yeah. I don't want to buy another map. My map.
It was like
I
one of those leaflet holder things with all the maps Madame Emerald's obviously got for sale, just right in the shop as well.
Let me check the back of my map to make sure I don't have any phone numbers or anything.
Yeah, I don't think you've written anything important or crucial to it. Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
Fine.
The sharks
silver
outside
now.
carried away by bats. Never to be seen again. Yep.
My map.
Wow.
Oh, the child.
Why do all the children that come into my care end up being carried away by flying strange things?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Stop giving it.
Yeah. Anyway, back in the scene. So she looks eagerly as if she thinks that's a great deal.
Yeah, this is a deal then.
Then you
I
want to
give her
shake on it, and she puts her hand out and she spits on her hand.
And I shake.
Okay. And she shakes her hand and goes, your hand's all blue.
Yes, I am blue.
And the nice man's red.
Ah, he is a red man with the horns. I do not have horns.
No.
We are not same peoples. I thought at first he might be, but he is not my peoples.
So you're not a nice man.
I am nice man. I am just not of same peoples as him.
Who's your people?
The Genesi.
She looks and she thinks about it and goes, hey. Genesi.
Is how you pronounce Genesi? I'm
Genesi.
trying to say. Please, let me write down for you. And
I can't read.
take one.
Yeah,
Damn
she just said that.
Big Nair, can you tell little girl what is my people's called?
It's sort of leaning over from the table. What year? Genasi.
Genasi.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
What ya Genasi?
Wait, what did she say?
What ya Genasi? Just repeating what Banger said.
No, it just Genesi.
Genasi. She looks kind of proud of herself, like she's getting it. You gave her the silver and the map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got a very worried expression on my face because I'm kind of like, oh.
And she's like, right. And when do you want this done?
Immediately.
When's
Please,
that?
go now. Now, please.
Okay. And just runs out the door.
Be careful.
It doesn't look like she turns the right way.
Oh, God.
We'll never know. She's carried off by a giant bat. We know this. She is not.
Jewel teeth.
I mean,
No, she looks back,
moving
winks,
on.
and she's got a smile with jewel teeth in it. No, anyway.
Oh, God.
That'd be fucking twisted.
All child should probably be carried off by like a normal sized dog.
Or like a handful of normal bats working in unison. So, anyway, so Madame Morel just kind of chuckles about herself and then like starts like moving some of her ledgers around as if trying to dust underneath them with like her sleeve.
Adair would go back to the table.
Yeah. Sensible.
Just sit down and kind of look at the guys like, not sure they're going to get the message, but okay. Should we be going to the tavern to be finding the men? The Utor.
Mhm. Good question.
Yes, that's not a bad plan. Let's do it while there's still some time in the night left.
What if rest now, find later? If you say he is up all day night.
You
On
are
the other
wanting-
hand, that's also a good point.
This is
I am very tired.
would the actually what sort of time is it? Early evening, late evening? I know.
I say it's early afternoon.
afternoon.
I mean, given what has been accomplished in the day, it is probably it's either early evening or late evening, right? It's probably not as late as late evening because remember you and Xerxes were in like the afternoon timeline, so you were probably late afternoon when you were on the airship, and then you went to the library and spent time
Mhm.
there. I was walking through the city and various other such things. So you came back here, so you probably arrived here for evening. It's probably why people are, kind of busy here. So yeah, it's probably like, coming out for late evening. If I have
It
to
might be worth
quantify the
just
time.
going out and doing it in the night then.
I'm wondering if these men will be in the tavern at early hours, or shall we have to wait till afternoon to find him?
You mean as in don't go tonight and sleep in, and you mean go now because it's evening now?
Go now because it's evening
Yeah.
and we'd actually find him.
Probably a better chance. The morning might escape him.
Because he might not drink in the mornings, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Unless he's a true alcoholic.
Yeah. So, what's the plan? Are you heading off to that inn that has a name?
I want to say the Weathered Spoon.
That's it.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Well done.
Well,
Look at
it
you
was
with
more
names.
the weather.
Yeah, it's the withered spoon.
The Weathered Spoon.
With
The
their
weather is just a spoon that's
Weather.
been left out like for a few weeks.
So do we have just everybody heading there then instead?
Let us.
Yeah,
Or
Madame,
unless anybody doesn't want to.
well, Madame Emerald catches you, so she's heading out the door, and she goes, it's getting busy. Do you not want to stay and enjoy the atmosphere?"
I'm afraid, Madame, we have to go and speak to a chap about some pressing business. Don't you worry, we'll be back soon enough.
He goes,
What does
"Aye."
atmosphere taste like? Yes, yes.
He looks down. He goes, "I don't know if I like talking dogs as much as I like talking rats, but don't be late in."
Oh, no, of course, my dear. We will not be in the late.
Kind of gives like Fleabite a look. You don't know if she's kind of like,
Gets a look back.
yeah, like I don't know if like the look is what are you versus this thing's kind of cute if it was washed. Like you'd give a dog that you want to rescue because you can't help but have your heart melt a little bit. So yeah, there's a look in there somewhere. We're not sure where on the spectrum it lies, and I don't think you'd roll sense motive because you're Fleabite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, just from the way she said it, it was more like a, "Ew, why did you let that thing into my into my nice tavern?"
Probably just the first time she's actively paid attention to what and or who you are. But yeah, keep in mind, not the weirdest thing that's been in town, right? Like this world has strange and wonderful
It's
things.
up my game then.
Yeah, right. Start wearing half the things that are in the bag of holding. Oh dear. Anyway, yes. So it says, "Don't be late back," and then you shuffle off to the withered spoon. Okay. Get there. It's pretty lively. Big open fires. Quite a few of them because the place has obviously got holes in the roof, so tries to do his best to keep the heat
I would add, just because it's a dumb thing, that Vanger and I would normally take longer to get there because of our exhaustion level.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
my city secrets then counteracts that, so it's the same number of time as normal.
Yeah, so like you walk towards somewhere and you look to Vanger looks to you, and this like the gentle snow falls and eager Adair is up ahead, and then Fleabag goes this way, points down an alleyway, and then obviously it cuts the time in half because tired people are tired. This is quicker. So yeah, and these are not jumped in the alley, which is nice.
Isn't that good?
Yeah, these are not jumped in the alley.
Stop saying that.
Fine, okay, I'll
Because
start
we-
saying you're jumped in the alley.
It's weird if you say it too often, though. It's one of those things that saying once is fine. Any more than that becomes suspicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that right now we have disadvantage on like everything.
Yeah.
We really don't want to be jumped in an alley.
Yeah, 3 levels of exhaustion is rough. Or 4, whatever these are on. I think I think you
It
were on
was
4
3.
and then you recovered down to 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to put it up, but I realised that the quest might become impossible if I put it up to what it probably should be given your near-death experience. I'm like, probably should be 5 levels, and then they'll bump it down to 4, but I feel like I want them to be able to be somewhat functional in the game. So, yeah. Here we are. So yeah, you get to the Withered Spoon, open the door. Door doesn't have that breeze or atmosphere pressure thing because it's open air, because it's a broken church. And yeah, there we have it. Just go in, get like a brief look from one or two of the patrons in there, and then everybody else just pretty much ignores it. If you just linger in the doorway too long, somebody will just tell you to shut the damn door.
Would you say it looks busier than previously?
Yes. But it might be because it's colder than when you first arrived.
Yeah, that's fair.
So more people are heading into obviously populated places for heat and such. Because why not use their heating, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
From the moment I walk in, I would like to make an investigation on the place just to see if I can spot Utor.
Yeah, it's just a perception. It's not even investigate in that case.
cool.
Because you're just looking for a guy. It's not like you're trying to investigate the place to solve some kind of mystical puzzle, right? So yeah.
So just a
Yeah,
perception.
just perception. Yeah, have a glance around. Yep.
Turpentine.
Normal.
Look at you looking to roll in the game.
Oh, for God's sake! Right, no, Adair never rolls again. That's
So
it.
remember we discussed this, right? So I realised that last session you didn't roll at all, which was probably on me. So we didn't get to test out your Roll20 account. Now you'll if you roll again and it's under a 10, I feel like you just have to make a new Roll20 account and we'll assign it to all of the stuff this account had access to. Dear God.
And that was 10 on the
There we
nose.
go. There we go. It's obviously trying to keep you in. Look at it trying to keep you in with exactly the number you need.
You think it's honor that keeps them in line? It's fear.
Oh dear. Yes. Anyway, so I guess you keep your account then. Oh well, Roll20 has spoken.
No.
Oh, I was hoping a new year for new luck, but no, apparently
Nope.
not. It's just
Yeah,
2020
they're-
with a secret wig on.
I love that he's a brave, brash sword
Sorcerer.
fighter.
That was it, yeah.
Sorcerer. I'm like, what am I again? But he just can't perform. Oh God.
Well,
Like, you should go to-
that goal you've got about impressing Lady Thacky is going to be
Yeah.
interesting just on retrospect. But anyway, moving swiftly on. So you walk in and you go to look, and you're getting body checked by a fairly bulky gentleman. Who's like, "You're in my way."
I have only walked in the room.
Oh, there's a
Right, that's
cat in the. That's okay. There's a cat in the background probably in this place.
Yes, in this scene.
Yeah.
I am merely walking into tavern. How can I be in the way?
You calling me big?
I am not sure what you are meaning, sir.
Where are you from?
I am from, well, all over. I guess you would probably say my home place was the little. Oh, I'm going to say Little Belmore.
I mean, it's where you'd made a home for yourself,
Yes.
right?
I'm going to say Little Belmore. Yeah. I am from the Little Belmore over the seas.
He kind of nods. It's like, kind of like crumbles and goes, the doesn't look too good for little Bellinor, does it?
What are you meaning?
He like shakes his head. That's not really my place to say.
Oh, please. I have not heard news of my home for some time. The last I was hearing, there was some kind of ship above the home.
Do you not really
Tell me.
persuade?
Oh.
Come on, you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Roll 20.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh my lord.
At least that one you only have a +1 on in a way.
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Amazing. So he goes, did you have family in little Bellinor?
I had many friends and comrades.
He puts his large hand around you and just maneuvers you to the bar without saying anything.
I kind of just go with it.
So, Vanguard, Fleabag, he's been abandoned by a dare.
Oh well. I take it he didn't spot the man. And then Vanger will try
No,
perceive.
I mean, you can see him. You know who you were looking for. You
Oh, I
spotted
can
him
see him,
before.
right,
He's
okay.
clearly at the end of the bar where he was
Maybe
last
the
time.
large guy moves and I'm like, oh, there he is. That's
Mhm.
fine.
This where the man things eat drink the red drink water.
You know what? That's close enough. Aye.
Is
Yes.
this where they brew? Yes.
I don't think they actually brew on site here. There's not a lot of space. They keep it stored probably down the stairs and sort of wine cellars or what have you, but I don't think there'll be a brewery here.
Are the man things of great knowledge and experience with the red drink water?
Some of them certainly are, yes.
Do you think they could identify? Yes.
Probably not here. You'd be looking for someone who makes it. These are just the people who sell it.
Fleabag looks like a bit dejected.
Like, was
It's
animated
some
and
people
engaged.
have an opportunity to find out more about wines in the future. Come on now, I mean, I have to speak to this fellow. He might have some information.
Okay, yeah. We just both head over to the wonderful Utur.
Sitting up, are there seats? Are there
Sure, of course, he's at the bar. There's stools. Yeah.
just a little heave to get himself up?
Mhm.
Probably more effortful than normal. Oi, gee. Ah!
Fleabag, what's your plan?
Yeah, I guess I think Fleabag will follow up with Vanguard and is there a stool of sufficient size, or is it worth just like jumping up on the table?
I
Well,
mean,
he's in the bar, wasn't he?
there are bar stools. As I said, these are at the bar. There are bar stools.
Yeah.
So that is what they're at. There are no varying sizes. There are mostly just some that look of shoddier construction than others.
Duct tape on them.
Mhm.
As is.
Then yeah, probably jump on the bar.
Then, like as you do that, like Utur like obviously notices because he was about to like just shuffle over a little bit to almost make space for this stranger that sat next to him, who he hasn't really paid attention to yet. When he jump up on the bar, he goes, "My lords, what are you?" And he says it not in like a kind of angry tone, but more in just like a genuinely like, "What are you?" As he kind of like staggers a little bit back off his stool.
Your lords may not keep for yourselves, yes. I am Fleabite. What is you, man thing?
And he goes, "And you talk? Well, this is wonderful. Do you drink?"
I drink, eat much, and might be more bite off than you, man thing.
"Well, let's find out." And he slaps his thigh and he goes, "Well, pay for the food and the drink then." And he nudges you and points to the bar lady.
Look at Banger.
And he goes, "Oh, it's yourself."
Hello, Richard. Good to see you. How are you doing?
"Well, I'm
I
about
was
to get
actually
into some friendly competition with this one." And he kind of like, roughs Fleabite's head.
Well, I was just about to buy myself a quick drink or two.
Nonsense. Buy everybody a drink. More friendly that way.
I think I could manage. This is my colleague, I suppose, Fleabite. He's, I don't know, something that we don't have around here normally.
He leans into you, right? And he's like, "Colleague or collie? Because,
Well, he's a rat of some sort.
he kind of narrows his eyes. And he goes,
I know they don't normally do
"Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's one of those nights then." And he kind of just, like slaps your shoulder and then sits on his stool. And he starts like tapping
Oopsies.
the bar, like with his hands, excited at the idea that he's going to get a lot of booze.
I will try and get the attention of the bar stiff. The
Well,
bar stiff. The bar
I
staff.
just want to just say to Tony Robinson, I'm partially sorry for this portrayal of your visage.
He's done worse things.
Yeah. So anyway,
I mean, not really worse things in the sense that I'm not saying he's killed anyone or that. I'm just saying
I'm not
he's
saying
been
he's
very
not.
demeaning.
I'm just saying that whatever he has or hasn't done hasn't been proven yet. Or just
You know what? I'm going to say I think he's probably a good guy. Tony Robinson's probably a good guy. Anyway,
I'm gonna stay abstaining purely so that this video ages better. But anyway, here we are. So, you get the attention of the bar lady.
hello there.
See, I told you you'd be back.
Yes. Well, there you go. Good prediction. Could I have a? Well, what do you want? I'm saying that to you.
And he looks at Fleabite excitedly. He goes, "Well, we'll need a good couple of tankards each if we're going to be making a competition of it." Looks at Fleabite as if, "Do you agree?" As he's nodding profusely at you.
Yeah, I think Fleabite would would just sort of like do this sort of head cock thing, like not really understanding, but like sure, not disagreeing. The way that I sort of think of that as a competition of like consuming things, of sort of food, wouldn't be usually to Fleabite as like who can hold it down. It's just who can intake it the fastest. So I'm worried about where this is going to go.
I mean, mostly this guy just wants a lot of booze. So it is definitely already misconstrued, and I love it.
I'll get them their first couple of tankards and something relatively light for myself. Bit plus for where the day.
And he goes, haven't we all had better days?" And Charlotte looks up to like the hole where the snow is just falling in, and there's obviously people in a table just sat with their jackets still on, sat drinking at the table with like snow falling around.
True. You seem to be busy tonight, though.
It's warm in here, cold out there. And she does a
fair.
thing where she's like obviously moving like some kind of sweet in her mouth from left to right. then she says, "Soup, though." And just looks at you as if that was the question.
No. A drink, but just something, nothing too strong for me. I don't know if they're wanting any food.
And Utur like leans on your shoulder. Oh, it's just aggressively heterosexually, I guess, and says to you, "Anything you would do spending on food, don't worry about that. Just put it into the tankard pile."
Righto. No food for them either, it seems.
And kind of nods and like does that thing where he ruffles Fleabite's head again excitedly. Like this.
His hand's probably getting a bit manky.
Well, I mean, you assume he was clean in the first place. So, yeah, how much are you spending on this finger?
Oh God, what's a reasonable amount to spend, and I'll spend it.
Let's find out. Let's see what booze costs, because who knew I should just have had this page stapled to my notes. The booze page. Where are we? Where is the booze prices? So,
Where's the booze prices?
right, so a gallon of ale is 2 silver, and a mug of ale is 4 copper. And we're not getting into the wine prices.
Okay.
I just typed tankard into the search thing. The
Mhm.
tankard of sobriety. I
So
want.
Right. So sorry.
I
The
do not want that.
2 copper was for what? Sorry.
4 coppers a mug. 2 silver is a gallon
2 silvers a gallon.
of ale.
I'll get them a 2 silver and myself a 4 copper then.
Okay, cool.
4.5 liters. I just had to check that.
Of ale from this place, of all places.
Good luck with that. You're not removing any exhaustion levels this long, right?
Or I'm removing them all. Because it's just going to be one continuous 24-hour rest.
So I think like yeah, he'll say something like get them one of the gallon things and a couple of tankards and just give me a mug of ale.
And nods, takes your money, and then
Ah,
walks away. And she goes, "Soup's nice though," and just kind of walks away half-heartedly.
Alright. Sure it is.
Not even worth trying. Let's try that again. Literally just my handwriting decided I don't work anymore, so that was interesting. Yeah, so lose your pennies. She just uncorks like a barrel and pushes a bucket underneath it for a bit while she goes and gets your booze, and then she fetches out there a couple of tankards, sets them all up on the countertop. Yours has obviously, your mug's full, 2 empty tankards, and then when the bucket's full, she like corks the barrel again and then just sits it up on the countertop between Fleabite and Utir. And then Utir picks up one of the, it's like the two both kind of tankards, clinks them off of a Sangra's, and goes, "Well, to my victory and to us being right," and he passes the empty tankard to Fleabite, clinks it with Fleabite, pretty much puts it in your hand, and then scoops into the bucket and starts gulping down.
Enjoy.
Then I think in that case, Fleabite's going to very quickly put the bucket into his pack and stick his head in the bucket.
So you want to put the tankard in your
Tankard, yes, sorry, the tankard.
We might
I mean, I'd love to just pick up the whole bucket and just try and surreptitiously put it away, but I don't think that's going to work.
No, because what that's going to happen is you and him are going to end up getting so drunk you'll pass out, suffocate in your bag of holding, or Vanger will have to venture in to drag both of you out. That is what's probably going to happen if that was the case. So let's not just have a session where you have an adventure in the bag of holding and Adair's like, where did everybody go? So yeah, well, that drinking competition commences and we get onto dice rolls in a second. We click back to Adair, who's kind of staring possibly over at the group, being like, "Oh, I want to be there. I want to go to
But
there."
you can't.
And the big
Not
guy's
strong enough.
bought you he's bought you a beer already. Sat in front of you, and he's pushed it towards you. Says, "Well, may they rest in peace." And I kind of like slaps you on the shoulder, kind of half reassuringly, half dislocatingly.
Who is resting in the peace?
You said you had a lot of people in Little Bellinor, so to them, it clinks the mugs together.
But are you trying to say that all of Little Bellamore is gone?
Shakes his head and goes, "Nobody's heard anything for weeks."
But this does not mean that they are gone. We were under siege for over a year. It was very difficult to get the information in and out.
He goes, well, noble lords had a way, so we were kept up to date. He kind of just like looks at you and goes, "Okay, I get it. And he kind of looks over at the world and goes, "Two more. One's going through the steps." And nods.
Please, tell me, please, you must tell me everything you have heard of the Little Bellamores.
And kind of goes, shakes his head and closes his eyes. "I'm telling you, I don't know anything. That's the problem."
But you say the lords have been kept up to date.
Aye.
I have been working for the lords. They have not mentioned anything to me.
Strange ships appearing over cities, especially cities as prominent as Little Bellinor. Okay, nods.
Well,
And he goes, shakes his head a bit again, as if, we'll probably mutter something about dark days.
but there is a ship above this town right now. It is
Aye,
not
for the
big.
wedding.
But it's not
Happy
big.
ships.
But how are we knowing that it is bad ships that are over the Little Bellamores?
And he kind of says, "Well, that ship appeared and then, yep, it just makes a weird noise. And like does a thing with his hand implying his mouth's closed." He goes, "Nothing. Nothing for ages."
I'm thinking I'm going to be on more of the positive side. I'm sure that my comrades in the city are fine. They are merely keeping the advisors out and staying strong in bad circumstance. I'm I'm hoping one day I will be returning. Hopefully one day soon. Shall find out for self.
"Well, you do. Good luck to you." And he pushes the second beer towards you as well.
Thank you. I'm sure that everything will be fine. I will return to the Little Bellamore. See what's ah ah. Adair's just kind of sipping at the beer with this kind of not panicked expression, but very concerned expression.
Yeah, just the kind of wide eyes as you're like, "I have a
Mhm.
lot to think about." Yeah. Including
Yeah,
how
'cause I
to get away from this big man.
well, it's that way. He's bought me 2 beers. I can't just walk away with them.
Yup.
So yeah, Adair just kind of sitting there with that expression. Maybe glances back towards the bar to see his comrades.
Who have a bucket of booze and are about to like down tankards of it and various other things. I like it's
This is going to be messy night.
yep. So we cut back to so you put the tankards in your pack and then you just put your head in the bucket. Was that what you said?
I did. I actually even had a gift for that.
It's actually an MP4. What the hell? Also, good
I
hello.
think
Alvin.
Vanker's shaking his head in visible shock.
Just
It's not how you drink.
and right. So I need a probably just con saves is what I need. So I'm gonna do one. There we go. With Ban. Can you do a con save following all the rules that your exhaustion implies, please, Fleabag?
Could I put some
You know you can. Let me just go.
so that just negates it back down to a normal roll, I think.
Probably. There we go.
I have disability on ability, disadvantage
Sorry,
on
does it?
ability
Okay.
checks. Yeah,
Oh no. Oh no. None of you
For
told me my mic
exhaustion.
was apparently bad.
and then
Damn it.
using advantage
2
from
seconds to go
the
fix this.
inspiration, would that not then turn it just to a normal roll?
Guys, 2 seconds to fix this.
Could
Nobody
do,
told
yeah.
me my mic was muffled apparently. Thank you,
Really?
Scott. If only
That
you'd been
sounded
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fine for
it's
me.
the stream audio he's talking about.
Oh, right,
Yes,
yeah.
the audio I ask was to check at the start every time. Yeah.
Listen, I don't
If only you'd been here.
why.
The whole time. I'm gonna try and mess with it now. I need one of you to go on the stream. 2 seconds to adjust.
Right, I'm gonna unmute. Oh yeah,
Talking.
God,
Right
it
now,
is.
there we
Sorry.
go. Brilliant. How bad? Really bad?
Oh.
Okay, let's
Awful,
try
but
this now. So,
I'm gonna mute. Deafen this so I can hear.
Yeah, you're fine now.
and what about now? Well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Okay, that should be my audio now updated. But it was. So you remember, guys, you always get my mic audio from my headset because that's how my Discord is set for use. But the Streamlabs takes it from, sometimes decides just to sneakily take it from the webcam, which is all the way there. So that sucks, and I don't really get any notice of this, other than you guys telling me at the start how I sound. But obviously, Discord I should always sound always good. That's okay. Thank you, Scott, for that.
Thanks, Scott. Now go to work.
Don't be mean.
I've never been mean in my life.
That was further.
Yeah, I'm always mean to Scotty.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. Was it mean?
I told him to go to work.
Oh. I did hear that, and then my brain just completely erased it seconds later. Oh, that's phenomenal. Yeah. I'm sorry, my brain doesn't work. Continue.
So, now that my audio should be somewhat better, oh dear gods, hopefully.
Your party isn't.
No, I wasn't. I'm gonna work with what I can work with, and the rest is just how the cookie crumbles. So, anyway, hopefully none of my subtle dialogue was lost, like all that wonderful, wonderful Falcon dialogue. But regardless, so where's this roll? Flaybout for your con save.
Con save, right?
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Actually reasonable.
So it's just a dare that can he roll.
Telling you it's your cursed Roll20 account, that's what it is. Like, honestly, just make a second account and try it out next week, and we'll.
Yeah, the cursed account.
Like, you don't need to delete this one, just make a second one, right, with a different email, and we'll test drive it, right?
I think I'm going to, just to see what
Yeah.
happens.
This is when it's just roll. Like, it's the new account, you know, what do you call it, a cooling off period that you get, and it's just nat 20s every third roll, yeah.
I'm still fairly new to Roll20. Why is it bullying me?
Maybe it's because you've been playing for like a year, and then
It's the wrath of Nuffle.
yeah, and you're not using it enough, maybe.
That could be it, because no one else I play with D&D with likes using computers.
Which is bizarre. Although, interesting enough,
Yours are bad.
I've tried showing them the advantage of it and how good it is.
Where we're at,
especially
need
the
to zoom
packs.
back in. There we go. Oh, that's too far.
It's gonna make a very immature joke. It's computer. Better off.
Look at you growing. Oh dear God.
Isn't that very,
There we go. Cool.
very
Anyway, so first round. Yeah, these are both doing pretty damn well. After he downs his first tankard, he puts the tankard away and just puts his head in the bucket as well, and just starts drinking the same way. Yep. So.
Like, he's going to be even more ill than I am. I hope you were not going to get anything useful out of it.
But yeah, it's going to roll again. We're bam.
nice. That indicates that he's holding his liquor pretty well as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not just drinking it well. Good.
Is it what's happened, Fleabite? Are we gonna just risk the disadvantage roll, or are we gonna go for
No.
While Fleabite's preparing to dunk his head in, I'll ask Uther Eric. Uther, do you know anything about a family called Uptera?
as he's like, wiping the foam out of his eyes, and then throwing it to the ground, and then licking like his fingers where he's wiped the foam. He looks at you, he goes, "Cheetos lot!"
That sounds right.
And then obviously dunks his head right back into the bucket, because Fleabite's arguably come up for air. Look at that! Even Fleabite's holding his own.
Wow.
I can hear Alexander sweat in probability.
Imagine if I didn't have disadvantage.
Oh dear. I think because of how well Fleabite's holding his own as well, like this has like reinforced him to dunk again. So in he goes again. Wabam. Oh. Yeah. Maybe he stays under for a bit longer this time.
See that right there?
So long that he drowns.
Yeah, does Indy
I'll pull his head out. Uther, calm yourself down.
he just starts like coughing profusely and like hiccuping like in a kind of a burpy way. Then kind of goes, starts tapping the rim of the bucket as if it's your go, Fleabite. Was this more you bought? Sorry.
I did, yes.
Let me go approve this.
Always.
Keep in mind how little this was used in the combat, Vanger.
I know. To be fair, like it does feel a little cheaty using it too often in combat.
Tell that to the 3-session combat, and then there we are.
Yeah, tell that to the session of combat we lost.
Yeah.
I did, because I didn't really use it much.
Right, so yeah, Fleabite's looking a lot better than Uther, and as obviously Fleabite's dunked in, he kind of sits and coughs, and that way where he's obviously clearly inhaled a lot of this. And he looks at you and goes, "What is it you wanna know about Richiro?"
Really, anything? I mean, I heard. I don't know this. This might be nonsense, but I heard there were still some of them about.
Nah, all dead.
And the last one was Chiro. He was in a duel with.
That brute,
What is it?
Taki.
Aye, that's what I heard.
Why'd you ask? As he's like, his hands like kind of doing that thing, trying to get purchase from the back of Fleabite to pull Fleabite out of the bucket.
It's a funny thing. I just we came across some of their crests and some stuff we were looking at, because they have the he gestures with his hands, and this time very self-consciously, to sort of convey that he's, to give the impression that he's not quite sure what to refer to as, their crests and some documents and what have you, old stuff we found. They had the symbol of a bat.
Aye.
And he says this in a manner that suggests he's quite pleased with his research.
He just matter of fact, he goes, "Aye, yeah."
Well, I was very interested in the strange bats around here.
And he kind of he frowns and he goes, "Aye, dark days."
Well, I wondered, given that they obviously have a long history around, and the bats are simple, if maybe they were knowledgeable or connected even. You know, did they keep bats? Did they have a bat roost? I don't know.
And he kind of leans into you. The smell of booze is what's the word? There's a definite fervor around the aroma. And he says, "You're one of them curse believers, aren't you? I'll be back with you in a second." And he pulls sleeve out and dunks his head in.
Curse?
Oh, that's the wrong dice. That's a good roll. Wabam. That's reasonable, yeah. I was going to say, that alleyway encounter is getting more serious. Right, let me go approve this nonsense. Right, yep. There goes all of your triumph on a bucket drinking competition. Look at that.
I would have advised against this personally.
You have made 2 mistakes. 1, Alexander. 2, Fleabite. But yes. So right, the both of them just kind of go at it again, and then after, like, obviously he does his turn and comes back out waiting for Fleabite to do his. Also, at any point, Adair, you can attempt to leave this encompassing man.
Whatever is happening, I'd finish my first beer, and then I would take my second, raise it to him, and say, "Thank you for the drinks, but I must go back to comrades."
And he puts like a big hand on your shoulder and kind of grips you and goes, "Not too soon, though, eh?" He kind of just nods at you and pokes you in the chest with his big finger.
Oh, he
And then-
thinks you mean that.
And then he just, you know, tilts his beer up at you, and then he downs his and leaves, like he was planning to originally.
Thank you. I did not get name.
Fucking hell! And then I have to name this guy now. It's okay. Let's get my name. Let's get fantasy names,
Chunkus O'Reilly.
and then I'm not calling him any of these because I accidentally clicked on Prophet Name Generator. And the Oracle of the Flock is the first one that came up, and I actually kind of love that. But I'm not calling him the Oracle of the Flock because it's just ridiculous. But okay, let's find an actual name generator that isn't Oracle names. Fucking hell. Okay, yeah. He turns around and he goes, Yotor.
Yotar. Thank you
Which
for
is-
drinks, Yotar.
Jotor.
Fleabite. I just tap back into.
Are you surprised?
No,
So,
I'm not.
Yotor leaves into the cold. It became distinctly more giant and Russian as time went on there. And
Wow. That's impressive skill.
yeah, right, just as you do. And then that's my secret, Cap. I'm always Russian. And
It is me secret.
it is my secret, Cap. Comrade Captain. So, you approach, I guess, Adair. You approach the group
Yes.
as Fleabite's head's in a bucket. And obviously Utur is recovering from his last roll. Well, you've been mulling over the you're a curse believer. Is there anything you prompt him with as he sits and tries to get like his breath back?
I'll let me see. What's this about a curse? I didn't hear about a curse.
That's what you walk into as well, Adair, is just hearing Vanguard go, "What's this about a curse?"
And Adair would just kind of stand there, kind of, what? Because
And,
the news of Little Bellamore is still in his head. So.
Yeah, and I think Utur kind of like, as he's looking at Vanguard, looks just over Vanguard's shoulder. Vanguard, obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean there's somebody behind you. This guy's just probably really drunk and is seeing 3 of you. But he stares up and down at Adair, and he goes, "I think it's starting to take an effect on me, because you look like one of them Genasi."
Ah, this is because I am Genesi.
I turn around and go, "Oh yeah, aye,
Oh, good, you could see him.
this is a deer. He is a Genasi. No, you're right."
He kind of nods and he says, he pats you, like on probably your thigh because it's the closest thing within reach. Vanger. He goes, good, you can see him. And then he says, aye, the old rumours about the family curses.
I'm not from around here, remember?
Really?
Points at himself. Aye. I'm from near Crust.
Alright. He just says matter of factly. Blinks. You know, eyes red, obviously, from beer. And turns around and, like, you know, pulls Fleabite out. There's an empty bucket now between you and him, Fleabite. And he says, I'd say best of 3. He stares at you, Fleabite.
Stares at dwindling triumph points.
This is probably like, yeah, like drinking a bucket of ale this way is probably not a great, you know, way to stay sober. So it is probably just gonna get, yeah.
It's just the hygiene factor of Fleabite's head and body. Like, obviously that's not too bad for Fleabite, but for this guy, he's gonna have something by the
I mean,
end. It's
also
not just the
arguably
head.
mechanically, there's nothing actually protecting Fleabite from his own filth, mechanically. So it's maybe just as bad for everybody watching this too. Never mind what Fleabite's shrugging off in the ways of somehow still together, despite being bludgeoned by a mace many times. So aye. What's Fleabite's response to Utior?
I would probably Fleabite would glance at Fair and Vanger.
Thank you.
Wagner!
And just be like, you know, if
You do not drink as fast, quick as Fleabite can, yes. But what is drink?
But what
that
is
was it.
but what is drink? And then that's it. And then I think he just sits, leans back, does that thing where he looks like he's about to burp, and then just goes and just stares at you, as if that was his reply.
I'll order these another one, but that's the limits of my generosity tonight.
Kind of slaps the bar, and then he goes, oh, ain't that something? There we go. Best of 2.
Fleabite win, yes.
Oh dear, it's 2 silver, if you're asking.
Yeah, I will pay the.
She just switches
piper.
the buckets round because she knew this was coming. So she already just has a full bucket waiting to sit
Yeah,
up there.
I've probably still got like a couple of dregs left in my first drink.
And then Sparrow looks in the bucket and goes, I guess I'll set this one out to wash. Ugh. Arguably, Fleabite's never looked clear, actually.
Well, I was just thinking, Fleabite probably having been in the care of Richter and his physicians probably is cleaner than normal.
Physicians, yeah. Yeah, sure. And
I think when the second bucket comes out, Fleabite would say,
What say you make more interest? Yes.
then Utior like puts a finger up to Vanger and Adair as if one moment, and then like he adjusts his like, you know, decaying outfit where he like kind of fidgets with his lapels like a fancy country lawyer, and he turns around and he goes, "What did you have in mind, small one?" Of the bottomless, and gestures up and down you.
Take out a few the tea leaves of the cinnamon tea.
Uh-huh. And he goes, "Oh ho," and he pulls out a pipe from his inner pocket.
And just like scrunch them up and like slowly go to put them like into the bucket.
And he kind of goes, "Oh, I see. Okay." And then he puts the pipe back in his pocket. It just ends up through a buttonhole. And he looks at you. He goes, "And what's all this then?"
That is what we shall see. Yes, yes.
Okay, I like this. Experiment. You should maybe put some more in. It's a big bucket.
These potent leaves. Yes, yes.
And then he just pats his belly. He goes, "Well, bottomless one." And he pats his belly. "I think we've got it in us." And then he kind of like nods towards the jar.
So the jar.
Yeah, the thing you're pulling the leaves out of.
Okay. Then maybe like a second one. I mean, yeah. I guess what was it? 4.5 liters.
Mm-hmm. A bucket full of liquid versus, a leaf. Yeah. Considering you put a couple of leaves into like a normal kettle, which was significantly smaller than this bucket of booze. Yeah.
Okay, then I guess 3 times the amount that I would have put into.
Yeah. He takes his pipe out of his, buttonhole and starts using it to stir. Anything from Vanger or Adair while this is going on?
I'm looking on with an expression that says that I consider this a waste of both a good pipe and good beer. Well, not good beer, but beer at the very
Yes.
Adair is sharing that sort of like facial expression of just what the, and kind of looks to Wagner, kind of like, would we not be trying to get information from him before he is how you say mindless?
Well, I'll work.
Okay. And Adair then proceeds to sip his beer while looking sort of around to see if people are paying attention to what's happening at the bar.
Yeah, it's people are just keeping to their own. As I say, there's that one table where there's snow falling on it, and the guy's just still adamantly having his, his brew. There is no Sam Smarkle or Boblin the Goblin, sadly. None of that nonsense.
No boglins.
Nope. So yeah, I think after some alchemy, the concoction is ready, I guess, unless you're doing anything to it that isn't just putting leaves into like room temperature liquid.
If there is anything else that would enhance the experience that Fleabite might be aware of, thanks to
yeah, there is at least
that.
I mean, not so much that, but there is something you have experimented with in the past that could enhance the experience.
I don't have an elephant, though.
No, you have a party.
This is going a lot further than I thought it would.
She also might have a mortar and pestle, right?
I feel like I did steal one of those.
Yeah, I feel like the bar will have one if you needed it as well, though, and then you could steal that. Not that I'm trying to convince you to do this, I'm just saying these are options.
I just bring up the feat in that I'm not trying to kill myself or him. So I would, as long as my best guess is that these wouldn't be fatal, then I guess I would.
Well, you snorted the dust of one before and you didn't die, so arguably they're harmless.
Yes, that's how it works.
That is honestly is convincing.
You tell me how Fleabite would see it, right? If Fleabite's done something once, fine.
Yeah.
You can also, like, it's up to you. You can tell me what Fleabite thinks about that. You can agree with me, or you could roll. I don't really mind what interpretation you have of that. But you asked what else do you have, and I said this because it's something you have actively done.
Yes, my mind was more in like just adding like salt or like random. Like
It's
mustard
like
condiments.
salt, rock salt.
Again, yes. but it has consequences. And regardless, I lose. You have to do the 1 minus.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you'd lose a stone. Yes, a stone. But arguably, you'd be spending that to buy a mortar and pestle, really.
Yeah, that's true. I think looking at Vanguard, Fleabite would sort of try and would bring out a stone and say,
How you make into crushed powder? Yes, yes.
Got here. I'll probably have like a wooden mortar and pestle because I think I've got like enough bits and bobs related to that I could possibly have one, right?
You've got like a herbalist kit, right? So yeah,
So I think I
probably.
here you can grind stuff down in that if you really feel that's a good idea.
"This is your opportunity to."
This is the player agency pause. Yes, this is the PAP moment.
Actually, I don't think Vanguard knows just how ill-advised what he's doing is the problem.
Because to you, it's just a kind of a slightly shiny green stone he's given you.
Yeah, it means nothing to me, oh Vienna.
Oh, Vienna.
Stone. I mean, he does.
It was there when he
Yeah.
the other
Like-
place.
Why don't you roll history with advantage, and we'll see how the dice care about that answer.
Do I get double advantage?
No, no, you don't.
God.
Even though you need it.
Double advantage all the way across the sky. Oh my god, it's perfect. Wasn't that the last time you rolled? The last time you rolled advantage, you rolled the same number twice.
Yeah.
Right, seriously. Oh wow.
I just roll
I
again.
always call it.
I want to keep the same result, obviously. But I want you just to roll the same roll again, just for science. There we
Oh,
go.
wait.
There we go. The balance has been returned.
Nah, I'm still cheating. No.
Oh, it's so good. But anyway,
Really? No.
it's just. I would be so annoyed. But then, how many accounts would I be on by now? And also, to be fair, Alexander, you know this, having lived it with me, but I rolled really badly as my character in Callum's game for a long time. Like, really badly. I usually just talked at Callum so that he forgot dice were involved. As much as I possibly could have. So, aye. But yes, so, I mean, considering the difficulty in this was a 10, yeah.
Oh.
Like,
Yay.
yeah, to remember the thing that, knocked Fleabite out, yeah. Remember you then shoot him under the table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vigner, it's probably not best for you to be breaking this up. It might damage your tools there. That's it. Yeah. Perhaps the time for chatting about this curse. I believe I'm hearing you saying something about a curse on the lords of here or the Evershides.
Well, I'd be interested in hearing about this course. Yes.
I think,
Yeah, please.
like, a big sweep of the neck from Fleabite over to Wagner and Adair. Utior kind of stares and goes, "Oh, aye, the curse. Aye."
Yeah.
And he looks down at the thing and goes, "Your friend is right, though, friend." And he looks at you, kind of like blinks a couple of times, and he says, This is no good." And he tips the mortar and pestle upside down so that the stone's on the table, the countertop. And then he kind of like, starts gesturing for the bar lady to come over. And he goes, "You've got one of these. And one of these, and he struggles to pick up the pestle, and he's like, "We need that, and you can have it back." She just tuts and walks away, and then eventually turns up and brings like a fairly heavy set stone one. And he goes, "Now we're talking," and he's nodding to you, and then like as if he's woke up, turns to Fleabite and nods to Fleabite and puts the green stone in. And he looks at everybody and he goes, "You look the strongest," and he slides it to you, Vanker.
Okay.
Adair sort of whispers just into Wagner's ear, the best he can, to be like, "Take time. Try not to go too fast."
Probably will anyway.
Yeah, I don't think easy anyway. So he just sort of starts half-heartedly sort of bashing it.
Given how exhausted you are, like, do you want to give me your herbalism kit with strength and disadvantage? Given that,
God,
yeah.
terrible.
May as well get everybody rolling, right? Why not?
It's like we're playing D&D.
It's also just it's about the most of these exhaustion ranks while you actually have them.
Yeah. So, oh, for fuck's sake.
Wabam!
Oh,
So
okay, I-
Vanguard just takes to it and like the thing breaks apart super easily.
Oh, that wasn't it, actually.
Becomes like a really nice fine green kind of glittery dust.
I believe I said take time.
It broke a lot easier. Okay.
Drop on floor. Pretend to drop. I don't know. Fleabit will drop to ground if he is drinking this.
Fleabite! There you go.
Yep, so Fleabite, you got your powder? Yep.
Please, comrade, Utor, is this great?
He kind of nods. And he goes, "What is it you wanna know?"
Please, this curse you mentioned, please tell
I
us.
didn't mention no curse. He mentioned the curse.
Oh, I didn't mention it because I didn't know about it, but then you said something about it.
And he kind of looks at you like he's like, "What are you trying to pull?"
No, you can't say, oh, the curse and then no explain to us what it is. That's just not fair.
Chiro! And the curse.
Aye,
You did mention it. And I
mentioned him. I didn't know.
kind of looks at Adair to like come closer and gestures with his hand to like bring you in conspiratorially.
Adair sort of leans in.
He goes, "You see, House of Terra was cursed." And gives you like a big eye as a response to this story.
So, I'm not recognizing this name. I'm not from around here. You are saying Subtara.
House of Terror. We've heard of them. Don't worry.
Kind of looks between the two of you and then looks back at Fleabite to see what Fleabite's doing.
Optera, not the Subterra.
Kind of nods.
Fleabite is just like slowly stirring in the.
Mm-hmm. Magical glitter powder, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, the Optara. Yes, I am knowing of this family.
And he goes, "Aye, I knew you would." Aye.
Yeah.
And then he looks at Vanger and he says, they weren't the only ones to be cursed though. You know, if you believe the rumours, which you obviously do because you've asked me about it. He kind of looks around as if who's listening, and then blinks a couple of times, and then stares back at you and says, "The other house, the one they had the dealings with, they were also cursed, you know."
Saki.
And he looks at you and goes, "No. No.
Oh.
As I said, he was a brute, but, you know, knew what way your bread was buttered, if you get what I'm saying."
I
Vanger
believe so.
pretends he does.
Yeah, because, like, I don't even know what he's saying. Oh, dear.
Sure.
Adair's nodding. Well,
Aye.
is this old boy like one of these guys that doesn't know what a private bubble is? Like when he's talking to
Oh,
someone?
of course, yeah. Like, I mean,
Okay, yeah.
This is Tony Robinson, how dare you? And he says,
I mean, it's Baldric right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, how's, oh, God, arguably Baldric was really competent. He's like,
Not in the first one.
I just love. Anyway, let's not tangent off. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's Calastris, he says, really abruptly.
Last?
And he looks around and goes, shh.
Alright. I don't know his name.
The Calascris.
Like, this is like definitely the first time you've ever heard this house been mentioned.
Yeah, this is not a name I'm familiar with. Are they still in Evershide?
No. Exiled, you know. Way up Terra. You know, because of the curse.
Yet you're still telling us of the curse.
He looks at you, like, confused for a second. And he goes, what did you want to know about House Calastris?
What were their dealings with the Terra then?
He goes, aye, so, way back, you know, when they had, he looks around again, and then leans really close where the smell of booze is awful, actually. And he says, the Tonans, when they were getting, you know, into position, and gives you like a look as if it's the most sus thing he's ever said. They, not everybody wanted them, you know, to lead. People have different ideas. He kind of taps the side of his nose that he misses twice. And he says, no, the Calastris and Uptera, they banded together, you know? Brothers in arms.
I see it.
He does like a thing with his fingers where he like intertwines them.
They were, how you say, trying to be the ones in the command of the Evershides.
Aye. No. Like nobody is paying attention to you guys at all.
Just nodding.
Yeah, and he says, aye, like together we Chiro and Calastris had enough sway, you know. Don't get me wrong though, Thaki was no friend to the Tonans, but like we're, you know, not being somebody's friend doesn't mean that you would, you know, want to see bad happen to them. But the he kind of just nods as if he's explained everything and looks off to the side.
So, please, so what was a curse? What were the banished?
He leans back in. Aye, so as you were saying, the curse, and it was they were banished because, well, you know. He just stares at both of you.
Oh, really? How did they get cursed?
He must be new to Evershade then, if you've not heard the rumours. Oh.
Ah,
He's nodding.
And then he says,
usually nodding.
he's like, every now and then his eyes are like kind of going over his shoulder to the bucket, just to see, you know, alchemist Fleabite working away. And then he leans back over and he says, well, turns out Chiro didn't want Calastris to be in power either, if you know what I mean. And he like pulls his fingers apart.
You mean the Uptara did not want the Caleris in charge as well?
Aye, they all wanted. Every family wanted to be the one that was running the place.
No. And he pats like your arm, and he's like, no. Calastris were happy to unite with Uptara, it seems.
Oh.
It seems like Chiro had his eye on somebody else. And he kind of tapped his nose and goes, aye. Like you've just had it.
Out at the duel, right?
Aye, and that brute, Thaki, killed him. Kind of nods sagely.
Unfortunate, but it happens in a duel.
This left Calastris holding the proverbial bag. Under the proverbial cart, so to speak.
Indeed, what the Tonans, they are the one who are cursing the collectives.
I think you might be a little bit drunk, my friend.
He's on 2 pints, so he's kind of nodding and his eyes are wide.
He goes, the Tonans exiled Calastris with the support of some of the other houses, Daki included, obviously, so as to be completely, and he kind of like rubs his hands as if he's washing them. I am implying, you know.
Yeah. Aye.
And he says, because obviously we read Chiro trying to get Daki's daughter. You know, it looks like they were in, league as well.
You do not mean the lovely librarian lady. Oh,
Nobody means anything.
Shh.
But who did
But I.
So the Chiro was after the but
Speak
he
up.
was not- Oh, sorry. Who did the cursing?
What?
You're saying the peoples are cursed,
It's just rumour though.
Aye, but if they're cursed, somebody, well, maybe not somebody, something maybe, but how did they get cursed?
Oh, I don't know.
Were they always cursed?
No, so, he leans in again. The thing about the curse is that people think it was the Tonans because of, and
Aye, they came
aye.
out on top, so,
and like they don't brook no bullshit, as you have probably found out. How long have you been here again? No matter. And because Chiro had been killed by that brute Thaki, wasn't really much to do other than exile the name, redistribute the land, but I didn't go down so well with some of the people, but not in a, the Tonans were smart about it. They distributed a bunch of the land, and he goes, that's where that library came from, kind of nods.
The library used to be in the Optera house?
Optera land,
Terraline.
I
So
kind of nods.
what did the curse actually say? I mean,
Aye.
curse, a curse.
Aye,
So
so they were like the Calastris house were exiled. The whole family. It was a terrible shame. Whole family had to leave. And he goes, I don't know. I didn't count them.
It is.
The whole family. How big's your family? Eh? The whole family.
Only me.
Oh, and then he kind of leans over and like puts his tankard back in the the bucket and just like offers you it, but clearly you do not want to drink this.
Oh, please. I am still working on this one. Thank you.
And pours it back in and goes, don't worry, I didn't think he would drink it. And he winks at Fleabite and then kind of like burps and then turns back to you and says, well, they all left, unwillingly, with nowhere to go because there's nothing about here. The land's been done in for years. And
we don't stand in the way.
aye, of course, it's hard to miss. And
Maybe they are finding the Barris and staying there.
aha, oh, and then kind of loses himself for a second, and just kind of stops talking.
Well, this is all fascinating stuff, but come on, you can't keep. I've got to know, what did the curse do? I mean, they're all exiled. I get that.
The curse. Aye, you were asking about that. Sorry, I got distracted there.
Make
You
all
know.
the hair fall out or something, or what? To make
No.
them unlucky.
It made them hairier, actually.
I see.
Aye. So, you know the Calastra's house symbol's the big wolf. So, he just says that matter-of-factly.
I was wondering if there was a wolf one the other day.
Aye, the Calastra's house, big wolf, you know. Big dumb wolf. And he kind of shakes his head, silly sigil. Well, they were supposed to be cursed to, you know, be nothing more than just wolves. Just nonsense. But,
Oh, well, there is an old story about a proud king. God's punished by turning him in.
oh. Calastra's wasn't that proud. Dumb to follow Chiro.
Aye, well.
And I suppose if Chiro had survived Thaki, then he'd probably be a bat by now. He just starts chuckling away to himself, and then he gets sad and just sits quietly and kind of looks over at Fleabite.
Hey, well, that's fascinating stuff. We really had. I suppose if we'd been around a wee while longer, as you say, we'd probably have picked up on all this anyway. But no, I hadn't heard a thing.
Oh, is it? And he looks at it and he goes, "Ah, well, you wouldn't. It's all rumours."
Aye, well.
Much like the Barris is a rumor.
And he kind of looks and goes, "Oh, it's not a rumour."
It's not rumor.
Oh no,
right?
did I not tell you, dear? This chap's tried to get there.
Aye. Until that
Right.
poor thing with Tulpa.
I nod my head sympathetically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is it, Tupa?
He kind of just shakes his head sadly.
And Adair kind of looks to Wagner like,
And I sort of do a motion of like, you know, let's leave it.
Yeah, like a kind of cutting of the hand, like.
Yeah, exactly what I'm doing. And you know, give Butcher
Mm-hmm.
a pat on the shoulder and say, aye, terrible business that.
Aye, it was. And then he kind of like, you know, wipes his nose on his sleeve and he goes, "Well, Fleabite, is it?" And he looks at you, because I'm assuming somebody said his name, otherwise he's a super secret spy and he's given his hand away.
I think I did, yeah.
If you have said his name, he'll use it. If he hasn't said his name, he will not use it because he doesn't have it, obviously.
I'm pretty sure.
I think I'll just say I'll just say the bottomless one, I think, anyway, to cover this. And he goes, "How's it coming, bottomless one?" And he looks at you. It's probably.
Yes. Ready.
He goes, "Well, so am I guess heads down as opposed to bottoms up, eh?" And then chuckles to himself. And then dunks his head. I assume you dunk your head as well. I noticed you bought some more cheerleading. Right, I'm going to cash this in, but I don't want you to click anything to roll.
Yeah.
So, you and him both go in. Dunk away. There is the immediate inhale, obviously, of a fuck knows what. And,
Oh, I should have tried to heat it somehow.
yeah, right. Eldritch blast into it to see that happens.
That thing where you slap a chicken and cooks. How many Eldritch blasts?
Yep. It's like this first damage cause friction is where that starts, I think. So yeah, you and Utur both take a big massive gulp as you do, as you try and like beat each other to the end of the bucket. And as you do that, you're like, you know, almost like a falling sensation in your stomach, right? Where you both like land on kind of like almost dusty rock again that surrounds you both. Coughing as if you've just fell through water. Uruk looks around and like sees in like the darkness just like kind of green crackling energy that seems to be like almost holding together like kind of pillars. Other big kind of mounds or chunks or spheres of earth floating around. As everything just seems to be suspended like chunks of a maybe once planet. And he looks to you like, "Oh, I'm really drunk." Fleabite, get any reactions for Utior? As you are both now in this weird green space that you've been before.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this isn't Fleabite's first rodeo. So he's just going to
It's even stupider than I imagined.
just going to say to him,
Yes. Stay close to Fleabite. Do not fall off edge.
And then the tour looks around and goes, starts patting the ground and goes, does it have edges? You know, and then the camera does a wee zoom out, and obviously there's just big kind of chunks of like almost spherical rock floating around, held together with these kind of like pulsing green energy. And you hear a voice saying, "Oh, you took your time getting here." And the camera pans round, and you just see smiling with her jeweled teeth, Cynthia. And that's where we go to break.
Dun, dun, dun.
Slightly later than normal, but here we are. Let me get us on break. Okay, let's see. Let's test the audio. Okay, I think we're good for the audio this time. That's good. And yes, welcome back to the Invasion Part 2 of Session 35. It is the 13th of January 2021, the sci-fi space future utopia of our dreams. Something about being Ryan the GM still, and here are the players.
Hi there, my name is Gregor. I play Adair. He is still about 5'7", blue hair, blue eyes, blue skin. He's an Air Genasi, if that wasn't obvious. And yeah, he is terrible at rolling. That's pretty much him.
Good evening, my name is Alexander, and tonight I'll be playing Fleabite the Skaven, who's actually pretty good at winning bets. And is Adair's hair blue as well?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All this time it takes you to ask that question.
Good evenings.
Hello.
Oh no, we seem lost of the one and unlost. Hello, good of the evening toward you. Colin, and I will be playing Vanger, who is a dwarven sort of cleric-y, druidy priest.
Enabler.
Enabler is a word.
So, we have two people's heads in buckets, or in a specific bucket full of some concoction that has been created.
Just a fact, this is not a water torture thing.
No.
We don't run that here.
Or a war turtle. But yes, so yeah, we're in some kind of weird floating chunk of rock in space dimension with green energy pulsing off of it, holding on to other chunks of rock, making some kind of chunks of rock network, and 3 people standing on a specific chunk of rock.
So, while Fleabite and I can never pronounce his name properly,
Otior, yeah,
are drowning themselves, Adair is going to lean into Wagner and be kind of like, oh, how close did he get to the berries? What is happened to him and comrade?
Well, I think, to be honest, by this point, if it's been a while, I would have pulled them out of
It's
the
not.
bucket.
Nah, because if we're
No,
having
it's
this
not, right.
separated, we need to have them head
Okay,
dive
right,
in and
I'd
then.
say, he didn't say specifically. I don't think he really could have known for certain, but he seemed to have gotten quite far when events with his brother. It was his brother. Pat's
brother?
got him. Well, he reckons the Pat's got him, I think. Anyway, events happened. He had to go back, and from what he tells me, he basically blew the rest of his money trying to find the brother, but never did.
So the beats are now. Are we believing they are the Optera peoples?
I don't think they're necessary. Could be. Don't think so. But certainly that Optera chap. Something deeply off about him. He made this horrific screech at a pitch that a man shouldn't make. I
If
think
you
it
hit a man
burst
hard enough
eardrums.
between legs, they can all make this noise.
No.
No.
No, I couldn't hear for, oh God, for however long I was conscious. It was blood curdling, awful. Like he was screeching at a tone or a note or something like that a human shouldn't do. He was living in a cave. He was fiercely strong. I've heard rare creatures, men and such like that are cursed to take an animal do tend to have super strength and enhanced durability. They're not just, oh, he's a bat now, so he fits in your hand and he can fly. They tend to be monstrously powerful.
And he's definitely not vampire.
No. I can tell. The powers have been vested in me by the Great Mother would allow me to see through the skies of the unliving. I peered at him closely with the vision granted me. And aye, he's very much alive, or he was at the time.
Interesting. Wondering, should we pull the Fleabee tip, or is
And then at that point, we obviously cut back to their perspectives. So, you've been addressed, Fleabite. How do you respond? You get yourself into this. Aye. Literally, as they were talking about Curse of a Wolf, and you're sitting there having slept in the cave with like 14 wolf people, and you're just sitting there mixing away your green sparkle dust potion. Oh dear. But yeah, how do you respond to a very obvious NPC?
I don't think I ever. I don't think Fleabite ever interacted with the other two, though.
The other two?
Sorry, was it just Pseudo-Cynthia?
It's just what seems to be smiling Cynthia there.
Oh, right, sorry.
The three is you, Utior, and her.
I see, yeah.
Yes.
I think Fleabite's just, eyes narrow on the tooth, or on the teeth, but considering where we are, that seems less important. And probably like straighten up and in those rare occasions where in a completely different place, don't really need to hide, probably like take off the hood and be more visible than usual. And address her as
Green-Tooth Woman, you are the Packmaster Matriarch Brute Mare?
I think Utior just kind of goes, bottomless thing. You know her?
Yes, talk before we have.
oh man, that's going very Yoda.
Luckily, you were still on the Fleabite side of the fence, but you had like a leg over. I agree. Into Yoda.
We have talk squeak, yes. You do not want to get involved with this one, yes. Best stay back.
He kind of like just nods and does that thing where he kind of like clutches at his clothing in front and kind of like nods and bows towards her, and then she just looks at him, looks at you, and looks at him, and then just goes, just waves her hand and he vanishes. Just blows away in the wind. She turns to Fleabite. She goes, so how long have you been keeping this place secret for?
Secrets no longer, yes.
Well, one less. No. She smiles at you.
There is no secret between more than two.
And she looks and goes, there's only two here.
Only two now.
She kind of nods. Exactly. So a secret still.
Not for the others.
What others do you speak of? And she looks around as if trying to like kind of peer through like kind of the weird dark space that you're in, only lit by this kind of green energy between giant rocks.
If you not see them, then that secret remains, yes.
I don't think I quite follow you, young one. She kind of tilts her head.
How is it you make your way into this place, yes?
She's kind of like looking around as if trying to spot people. She just puts a hand into a pocket and pulls out the stone you gave her. It's glowing very green. 'Cause I believe you gave me a key.
Yes, yes. And you give me tea.
She smiles, and she goes, "A fair exchange, I would say."
Tea has proven difficult, but not unuseful.
She kind of nods, and she goes, "I imagine you're very well suited to the tea then." And she kind of laughs, pleasantly to herself mostly. Anything else from Fleabite there, or is it just silence?
Not really.
Hmm.
Just perplexed at how she can be here.
How you use to get here without destroy, yes.
Destroy? You mean this? And she holds up the kind of gem.
Yes.
She goes, "Ah, there are skills innate to each of us. Some easier for some, and more difficult for others to master. Traveling between doors has been one of my easiest skills." And she just smiles with her big kind of, multicolored jeweled teeth smile.
And what do you plan to do now you have door found?
With here, I don't imagine there's much to be done here. However, it could lead somewhere else. And that could be interesting to explore.
You may find what you seek is more than you can chew bite, yes.
She laughs again, and she goes, "Isn't that always the way with the things most worthwhile, though? They seem to challenge us, to push ourselves to be able to swallow even the most difficult of journeys."
Careful what journeys, yes, you choke upon.
She laughs again, and she goes, "And is that how you found your way to our world?"
Some have skills to find, others have skills to be found.
She laughs, and she goes, "Isn't that so?" Kind of laughing to herself, because she probably just agrees, it's definitely the laughter of such wisdom. And she says, "So, who was your friend and why did you bring him here? Is he a traveller as well?"
The man thing, yes. He gave inspiration to find place, but I do not expect he will be able to find it again, yes.
I doubt he'll be able to remember it again, given the smell coming from him.
Could I try and smell her?
The phrases
I
that
know.
we take stock of in RP. Yeah, roll perception. You've got advantage technically if you wish to use it, because it will be at disadvantage otherwise.
Mhm. No, I'm okay with it just being at disadvantage.
Yeah, sure. You double crits. Almost. In the sense that it was a binary, it was either 2 crits or not 2 crits outcome.
Is that the question?
Yeah, I feel like you just mostly smell the alcohol from you, to be fair. And giant green pulsing energy between big rocks, as they kind of lava lamp their way around each other. And she says, "You look like you have questions on your mind." As like you're basically just sniffing for a second or two.
When questions are asked of you, more questions are often found, yes.
She goes, "That's not untrue. I hear many questions are asked about me, in fact, by your friends."
You commune squeak talk with red thing.
I like to believe that is all what Fleabite said.
Yeah.
She goes, I may have. Does this make you green with envy?
Red thing likely needs warning of such talks will lead.
You don't wish him to find here, I guess.
That is of not great concern, but what he will find by commune talk squeak with you, and where you may lead him.
She just laughs again. And she goes, so you think of me as a threat to your friends?
Warnings can be given, they do not have to be taken.
And she says, when you put it like that, it's hard not to take a warning. Especially from someone so adept at falling between worlds as you.
What is it you want with Red Thing?
She laughs and she says, nothing taken, only given.
I think Fleabite is just like, yep. that's why questions never.
Well, you really expect her to be like, well, here's my plan. Rolls out the
I mean,
parchment. Point
There
one,
was always a chance.
be vague. And everything else is a wee bit hard to read. Sorry.
Is it your presence and Squiggle Rune Lord pack leader? Is that in leagues? Yes, yes.
Ah, I forgot you'd thrown in with my son. And she like out of like kind of vapor appears like the image of you like throwing down the knife in front of him and stuff, and like essentially becoming one of his. What would the term be for somebody who is in receipt of patronage?
Lackey.
I mean, sure, but there's probably a better word for it. Lackey lock, yes. But anyway, she kind of like vapors that into like existence to show into us. Yes, I do feel like this may put us at cross purposes though, if your loyalties lie with my son and not with me. And you do seem threatened by me.
You have not been paying great attention if you think I am often loyal for long.
She laughs and she says, yeah, you're right, if I blink I may have missed your loyalty. This is of no concern to me, only what is given is of relevance, not what I would take. Taking has no value. It's very targeted dialogue for Fleabite, by the way. She looks at you
Did
like
you-
deeply for that, and then you say what to her?
Did you commune squeak with half-thing Alvin?
Alvin. No, I don't believe I did. And even I had to try and sit and think, did I?
It was just when Von Rune said he spoke to Alvin, which led him to Fleabite. I was curious if she had some way managed to commune with him.
I don't think they interacted, to be perfectly honest, other than when Alvin was sat in the office, like the gateway office. I think like she probably takes as long as I do to remember that, and then she goes, "Ah, the charming gnome fellow with all the bright ideas." She just smiles as she says that. As if waiting for confirmation from Fleabite.
Yes, yes. He fell in skirmish fight, but he has managed since to talk with Scribble Rune Lord.
I see. Yes, my son's resourceful that way, you see. Much like yourself. Not willing to let go of things that don't necessarily belong to you.
But you did not squeak with him.
I believe I did, but not about anything important.
Did you squeak with your son brood?
Long ago, maybe.
But he would not believe that you are here now. Yes, yes.
Are you sure I'm here now?
Yes, yes. You are here in front of me.
He goes, then that's what's important.
Not to what people might hear after.
And what does the opinions of others matter to you?
What they can be taken.
Then perhaps you should give them opinions. She smiles.
Opinions given rarely render things taken. Especially from when Fleabite squeak talk.
She kind of thinks about that and kind of does that thing where she holds onto her elbow, crosses her arm, and grips her chin, as if she's kind of working out how to take that, with her, mildly 80s inspired perm hair. And she looks at it and she says, "It would seem everything that brought you here was by choices you have made to give up things taken. So I would suggest that seems to give you the most progress. The more you take, the less you seem to gain, if you get my meaning." She kind of tries to nod reassuringly.
You may not like if Fleabite make great progress. Yes, yes.
I think I would love to see Fleabite making great progress. Think of the things you could achieve.
And even if that take from you.
I'm sure if you had anything, I'm sure if you had any requests for me, I would be willing to give you my time.
And you think you would give, not take for time?
I'm sure if you had a great request of me, I'm sure you would offer me something for this. You would give, and I would give, and there would be no taking. Do you follow my meaning?
Giving and taking are two sides of copper coin. Yes, yes.
And then she holds up a coin, in her hand, flips it over to show you a side, and flips it over again and it's a different side, and flips it over again and then throws it to you and just throws you a copper sphere. She goes, "No, I don't agree." And just kind of smiles playfully at the fact that she just threw you arguably a one-sided object. It was that or a D20. I made my call. She throws you that, and she says, "I think you have shaped your perspective to see things the way that benefits your current agenda most, by taking things from those who may need them more than you. And arguably, if you help other people by giving them what you have, you may find that they will progress you further than you could possibly have done so yourself, so laden with their possessions." She kind of does that thing where she like a granny disappointed in you slightly face, and then says, "But I think you should be returning to your friends to give them some signs of life, as it were." She kind of just points behind you.
I think Fleabite goes to turn away.
Bright eyes.
Bright teeth.
And he would say,
Is this what you squeak talk to man thing you ran in?
She laughs. She goes, "Ah, this I will give you for free, since he no longer seems to walk the same path as you do. I wonder why that is. And she like distracts herself for a moment, goes, no matter. Haranan made an agreement with me to protect Thea on her journey. I empowered him to do so, for his path is noble. He wished only to give his life to serve her, so I gave him a gift to achieve this. You see? Giving.
You gave so that his life may be taken. Yes, yes.
She laughs and she says, only you would see it that way.
I think Fleabite will turn away and presume there's something there.
There's mostly just you pulling your head out of the bucket. Probably coughing and spluttering and, you know, we've already got a, rescued Utior out of the bucket by the wonderful intervention of Vanguard and Adair.
I thought we were going to have to pull your head out too.
Yes, yes. Much drink to talk, and much to be think.
Okay, Utior leans forward and just like hicks again. He's like, I'd say that's a draw. He kind of nods to nobody in particular. Kind of like just puts a hand on the bucket and like kind of just slides down the side of the bucket until it goes back to his side.
I think it's time that you went for a rest.
Okay, he just looks at you and goes, that's very nice of you to put me up for the night. He just puts like an arm around your shoulder.
Adair just kind of gulps on his drink, like, ooh.
Well, we could, I'm sure, find someone.
And he starts patting you. Like,
Aye.
good, let's go.
Adair looks to Fleabite like, do you need help? Back to the hotel.
Is there anything left in the bucket?
No. Weirdly, the bucket's empty.
And then I think Fleabites will just we'll just follow on the others, sort of give Adair a bit of a blank there, I'm afraid.
Maybe we should find somewhere a little cheaper on the way.
Perhaps, wait, where does he stay?
Don't know that he'll stay anywhere in particular other than wherever he'll put up.
Hmm.
The sound of it, he'd lost everything.
I mean, the one thing we could do, and I'm trying to make sure he doesn't hear what
Oh,
I'm
he's
saying.
kind of half asleep.
Oh
Right.
yeah, he's fucked. So
Mhm.
don't worry.
Yeah.
They seem to know him quite well here, and if we put him there, prepare ourselves, and then leave and accidentally forget to pick up, is he going to notice? He's falling asleep. And surely Steph are used to him doing this.
It would be.
But
Yeah, it would be unkind. Better
perhaps
make
you're
sure
right.
it's somewhere safe.
If we take him back, and when he is sober, maybe we can find out how close to the berries he actually is getting. And what information he used to get there.
This
Or-
is exactly when I bring him back to the
Hmm.
Emerald.
Ah.
Which I've temporarily forgotten the name of.
Just the Emerald Inn.
Emerald.
Emerald thing.
Yep.
How did it go? Anyway,
I like Emerald thingy. I like it's good.
considering that we're coming back from Italy,
Uh,
she'd have liked, and also the the expense attached, and
perhaps see where we are. Is it closer to Theo's office than it is to our inn?
Just roll a d20. We'll see.
No.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Weirdly, it's really close.
Cool.
This is probably why Theo took you here.
That's
Yeah,
that's
sense.
totally what I was thinking. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. Look at you rolling a 20. Look at roll 20 trying to keep you.
It's trying to keep me.
Because it's not attached to a skill roll.
That's probably true.
Yeah, it definitely is nearby.
Let us take him to the Theo's office. I'm sure we can get in, no problem, if he is not there. And this way we are not upsetting the Medium Emerald, and we perhaps might catch the Theo.
Yes, good thinking. Yes, we are quite, aren't we?
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Yes. The only thing is, you say we'll get in there easily.
Do not worry yourself. There are many ways to open doors.
Fleabite gets
Okay.
flashbacks to mere seconds ago. Yep. So I
At
was
that
the
point,
point.
Adair will take the other side
Mhm,
of the
mhm.
drunk fellow to try and assist on the walk.
And then the bar lady, the old lady that's like clearly chewing on some kind of toffee thing, just shakes her head, puts the towel over her shoulder, lifts the bucket off the bar, and just cleans the bar. Yeah, you get to Theo's place, right? The Intel conglomerate building.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
And, knock on the door.
Is there any sign of Falcon?
No.
I think she's probably been and gone. I certainly hope.
There's just a smashed window. There's a letter. No, the place looks abandoned, to be honest.
Abandoned.
Well, there's no lights on inside, and it is nighttime and cold, so arguably there'd be fires on. So yeah, there's nothing like that. No signs of life. Locked door, etc.
After a couple of bangs at the door, if nothing happens.
Nope.
This would be the time where I judge the time and how El Drunko looks. And
It's very late. It's very cold.
something. I'm pretty sure I have lock picking tools. Thought I did.
Be on your list, in the middle.
Yeah.
It'd be
It's
called-
part of Thieves' Tools.
I was gonna say it'd be called Thieves' Tools, is what I was about. Literally, yeah. You got there 1 second ahead of me. Do you have
yeah.
those though?
Yes, I do. I have my thieves' tools. Yeah, I'm gonna try and pick the lock.
Okay. This will be fine, right? You're bound to roll well once, so that's true of
It
thing.
happened earlier.
Right, so you click on the proficiency and then dexterity, right? So Thieves' Tools, and then it'll ask you a question, and you'll say dexterity.
Are you proficient?
I've clicked on it.
Yep, and then minimize your sheet because it's probably had a wee prompt that says what stat you want to use.
Oh.
Has your sheet popped out?
What do you mean, sorry?
So as soon as you open your sheet, there's a button to pop it out so you can make it a separate window.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay, close it, right? Just close the sheet. Open it again. Go back, click the button, and then there should be a window that pops up. Remember, like your spell level nonsense? But it should be for stats. You pick dexterity.
Sheet is now not wanting to open at all.
You've broken it.
It was all psyched up to give me a nat 20.
Definitely
and,
was not
I
after rolling in that 20. That was like your one for the year.
No!
Give it a go.
Yeah, no.
Close it down, refresh or if need be, right? We'll wait. Because I'd rather you rolled it than I rolled it, because I don't want you using my luck, cursing me
Yeah.
with the Adair character sheet.
Well, would I do that? No.
Given that my luck's usually kind of either really, really good or really bad, depending on the session. Like,
Right, so I've opened it. I'm down. I'm over Thieves' Tools.
are you in the inventory for Thieves' Tools or the actual proficiency tool at the left? ...
I am in my inventory.
Okay, so that's not a clicky thing. So you go over to the proficiency at the left underneath passive, where all your
Yes.
tools live. Click on
Yes.
Thieves' Tools and then pick dexterity. And we'll see how you do.
Do you not get to add your efficiency?
It will do it automatically.
No.
Or it should.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's dexterity. And submit.
Mhm. See?
Did that work?
Because that's, 3 from
Yeah.
Dex to 3 from Proficiency. Yeah.
Size is tolls.
You actually do the rogue's job. You get in.
I done did it, guys. I done did it. I mean, sorry. Look at
So
these.
just have inspiration, because I feel like that's just... we may as well capitalise on this.
Lick. I've got inspiration.
And that, everybody at home that wants to learn to GM, is how you keep players from rage quitting out of frustration. Anyway, so you've got,
Yes.
like, you hear the kathunk of the lock lifting, and the horror movie stock sound of the door creaking open.
And
Thank you.
look inside to double check for life.
No life.
For life. I invite everyone in. Close the door. Is there just a bolt on the other side?
I mean, sure.
and you're welcome. A bell would have gone off.
I mean,
He's not
bell
wrong.
alerting no
He's
one.
not wrong.
No, but it would have been unwanted noise, I suppose, so he does have
That's
a
true.
tiny point.
That is-
And arguably, you taking the bell was helpful.
Exactly.
Arguably.
But
it was help.
I was going to say, but technically, was it Theo or Cass? I think was it Cass? Theo gave you the bell, but Cass agreed to it, I think. I can't remember. One of the two.
One of the two.
So you were given the bell, though. More so than it being taken. You didn't steal this one. The Jezebel was stolen. So much was stolen. Poor Runestad. But yes, so you're inside. It's cold, it's dark. Yeah.
I believe I would proceed to get everyone inside, bolt the door,
Sure.
because we don't want anyone breaking in. Um,
Yeah.
and is there a fireplace around?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
There is,
I-
yeah.
I'd get a fire on the go.
There's
use
no
a
wood or
fire.
anything. Like, the place looks completely abandoned.
All right, so it's completely abandoned.
There is the only thing you can notice besides the lack of a bell is where a doormat would be on the inside of the door. There just seems to be like a slightly wet letter.
I pick up the letter, and do I recognize it?
Yeah.
Great. She has my map, and here I have the letter.
I think we just. I think
This is the right place.
it's just a good place to. It's just a good place to end on. That note, I think, is such a poignant. Yeah.
Retcon everything I just said.
Like, not to cut you off or anything, Colin, but I do think it was just just that realization that he has delivered himself to the letter. It's good.
Plus silver and my map.
I
Technically,
think
to
we're starting
silver.
to piece together some things about Theo.
Yes, I think that's definitely the takeaway from that. What would you like to call this session? Because, man, there's been a good few suggestions already, just based on what the hell has happened. Obviously, Twitchy Scabbard might not be as relevant as I would like it to have been.
Well, I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
Has my map.
You gave her the map as opposed to her taking the map. I just want to highlight.
About Curse of the Wolf.
Okay.
Some music to accommodate the
I'll play it when I'm not on stream. Yep. Or even just
1 second.
and take. Yeah, I was gonna say that was my. Yup. So those are also valid. There's also
another reference to that section.
just the curse.
Who can keep it secret?
Yeah, true.
Let me tell you something.
Although
but
I
in
love Curse of the
voice.
Wolf.
What are your thoughts, guys? What do you like? What was the standout moment of the session? Do you feel? that deserves the title. I just want to look back and go, what was that session? You know, what's going to say that? Mhm.
I'm typing something now.
Okay. At least that happened. Yeah. Roll20 really took it to heart when you were threatening a second account.
Yeah. See now I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah, right. See, it's got you. It's got you
It
good.
has.
I think Curse of the Wolf maybe is best kept for a future session if the wolves reappear. So that's
Mhm.
the only reason I'm not going to vote for myself there.
Fair. I think I'm gonna vote for a. Well, Flea Bites is the least incorrectly formatted version of Give and Take, so I'll put my vote there. Because mine's is worse in terms of it. Yeah, because you also plied that guy with booze and he gave you rumours, so.
Mhm.
You also gave her a map and she, took your silver. You gave her a letter and then you took the letter arguably from the floor of the place you got it delivered to.
I know we've got loads of suggestions, but I now want to say don't drown.
Don't try. Fair,
drown.
yeah, like equally valid. So when people
Drowning
look
in
back
sorrows.
several chapters later and look back and go, don't drown, what was that, a river? Or it's like, no, it was
Nope.
buckets of booze. Buckets of booze. I suppose,
My phone's just about to die. Someone put those in the chat. To tell Sarks recommended listing for the previous session. Just confuse him.
Spin around to it.
it's too long a title, sadly. Right, Adair, do you want to vote on something for me? And we'll...
I'm going to save the wolf one, so I'll go with Give and Take.
Okay. There we go. We got give and take. Perfect. Give and take. We pop that in. And then, talk to me about goals. Anything happen
Yeah.
goal-wise?
Well,
Yeah.
we're getting there, I think, on the first one. I don't think it's completed,
bit.
but we made a bit of progress on it.
I mean, yeah, right? He's definitely got a lot more about Thake, Optera, and Calastris, right?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I feel
We
like...
even discovered the Calastris, the Scalextrics connection. Okay, Calastris.
I'll just type it in so that it's written somewhere. Mhm.
Yeah, we know now that they do have a connection to the Tanats, which is pretty big.
Yes. So the Tanans, Thake, Calastris, and Optera all seem connected. And the Eric house, that obviously he used to be part of, seems to know all of this. Never mind
I'm
the
not
curse.
adding any more names. That's not how you spell that. Don't fix it. The born supremacy. There
It's
you
not.
go.
It's not far off Tanan. Actually, let me just adjust it.
Curse of the Wall.
That's not actually even at all. It's got an extra A in
Oh, there
there.
you go.
There we go.
On the second one, we also made some progress in that we tried to make some progress.
You sent a letter off asking Theo to send all of his employees to get it, but you now
When
haven't
you're-
done that.
Theo is a scam.
Oh,
Theo
that's
is an artist who's playing us for fools.
We've been sending gold to him via Xerxes, so we need to get that back.
We need to confront. But yeah, we were laying plans for that.
there's
but we might
definitely suspicion about the fact that this business seemed to be a front. Yes,
Mhm.
this building definitely is not in use. But then it might just also
have
be.
we're still sort of working on in the background.
Mhm.
Next one, three, four.
Arguably, prepare for Barris is when Tonan prepares just for Barris, right?
Or for when we get,
Utir?
what's his name? Yeah, Utir to take us.
See, I feel the last one in this, Enlist Utir, we're working on that because, we've given him a nice warm-ish place, hopefully, if we can get a fire going, for him to stay in.
Flaybite has a lot of wood. right?
See, you all scoff when Fleabite starts putting random stuff, but it always comes in happy.
Surprised your patches aren't campfires pre-made either. Like, that feels like a missed trick, that just, instant campfire patch from your robes.
I think I do.
Yeah. I
You
think
might-
that
You may have. I just remember a lot of silver, coin purses. But yes, so prepare for Barris. I find out what the package was and enlist a tier. Yeah, they all seem in play. Any tweaks to any of them besides the addition of the names? General goal people? Nope. Okay.
No goals, no generals.
And then personal goals. What's the plans? They staying as they are, or are we getting them adjusted?
Because my date's still coming up, I'm gonna keep it as is.
Okay, makes sense.
I would like to suggest that I've made some progress. I
Okay.
don't know why I said that.
Okay,
I
so
don't know who quite counts as complete yet, but certainly we have established that there seems to be a connection to Upterra that may be mystical, as suspected, one might even say.
I mean, you have learned that Upterra's house sigil was bat, and you have learned that he, if he had survived, would have been probably cursed. Because, unless it was a wolf curse specifically, and it just happened to coincide. The curse of the wolf. So much free PR. But yes,
we don't own that.
yeah, we don't own that. If you would like us to own that, get in touch with my agent, which is also coincidentally me.
Then please write us.
Anyway,
Yeah, but I think I've made progress, but I don't think that could be considered completed yet.
no, but do you want to tweak it in a way that has updated what you've learned? Like, you tell me. Like, is it?
No, what I'll leave it as is because I think you can sort of see there, like I've made part of the connection,
mhm.
and I'm starting to get some ground. Like I've maybe got the idea that they've been here for a while, but not forever. So I think really he just kind of needs to get confirmation of his suspicions at this point, which
Yeah.
is basically the curse is the reason that these bats are big and scary.
Yeah, like were there giant bats documented before this supposed curse happened? Yes or no?
And
Yeah,
it's aggressive and
Yeah. that sounds like a job for the library. Which coincidentally would have tied into when the curse would have happened, because it's the old Upterra building, right? Interesting overlap. Yeah. Besides that, Fleabite, any changes to yours?
No. I'm going to keep it for now because I think I have a way to progress it
Sure.
reasonably soon.
Yeah. Say you're definitely on the way. Yeah, I guess that's everything. Obviously, weirdly, Dillian felt all the goals were fine as they are for some weird reason. So good. The goals stay as they are. Regardless of that, let us do a wrap-up chat, and we'll start with Alexander since it has to make the sharpest exit.
I think I'm actually really pleased that Fleabite did win the drinking contest.
I mean, nobody lost the drinking contest, I think, is the accurate results of that.
But I took the victory.
I mean, you took the victory, but was the victory given? No.
It's that I'm winning, Rex. Like, just on a... for me, it feels like it fits that Fleabite would, even though he doesn't drink, he would be able to outdrink an alcoholic. So I'm happy that characterfulness was able to translate into in-game success.
In Fleabite's mind, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Always experience talking with old pseudo Cynthia.
I mean, I don't know what was weirder, me having to RP Utior with the conspiracy nonsense and the drunkenness versus standard everyday Ryan roleplay that was just Cynthia at this stage. Yup. Not good. It's always an interesting battle of words with her, to be fair.
And Fleabite has had fairly limited interaction with her. She was a bit disappointed in Fleabite, I think, when she first met him. I remember there's a moment when it was just Fleabite and Adair and I think I think that was basically it. And Adair was trying to hit on her, and Fleabite was just like, "How do I make tea?" And she was just like, "Eh,
I mean,
you guys aren't as interesting."
I think it was the difference there was obviously she was playful with Adair in that scene way back when. Feel free to check out our YouTube channel for such old episodes. And she then you gave up something that was precious to Fleabite, and she gave up something of hers in a mutual exchange, which is one of the first interactions you've had with her. On brand, I would call it.
I guess the other interaction was the whole hammer, crowbar, teeth. But
Yes. Where she was giving you as much rope as you needed to hang yourself with in that.
And I think that again with tonight, I do always try whenever Fleabite is doing a dumb Fleabite thing to give the other players as much of a chance to get in the way as possible.
Cliffhanger sliding the bowl to you. There you go. Rolled incredibly well.
Yeah, I do hope that, because I can see if I wasn't the one playing Fleabite, it's like, oh god, we need to talk to this person and he's about to like knock him out, try and drink him under the table. That's not a good way of going. So I hope that you guys do know and feel that if you can get in the way and stop me from doing dumb things.
Like, arguably, Cognac just used cloaks to capture him.
Yes, on multiple occasions it was just like, nope, cloak you go.
Yup. Which is fine. But no, I think it was quite good. You obviously got some progress on your own personal journey, which is interesting. So, a bit more of this weird space.
Yeah, and I think Fleabite and Cynthia, like, they aren't really, in my mind, the sort of chaotic nature of Cynthia sort of puts her at odds a bit with Fleabite. That he sees her as this chaos that can you kind of be better off just disregarding instead of trying to rely on it for good or ill. So like not really making that much bother to try and get her on side.
I think
really wanting her as an enemy.
The good thing is though, she's never really offered you anything though, right? Like there's been nothing she's ever said, hey, let's do this together, buddy, right? Like she definitely hasn't imposed, like some kind of calamitous evil patron, It just seems that other people are happy to chase her.
Poor Xerxes.
I just was thinking Thea originally. So yeah. Poor Haranen, just looking out for wee Thea.
Yeah, and I know that probably I didn't expect that really to go anywhere, but I did just sort of want to be like, yeah, Fleabite's not smart, but he does notice things.
He remembers the other man thing. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of fun, and
good.
It always always an experience with Pseudo-Cynthia.
Definitely. Adair.
So, yes, tonight was good because I feel we kind of, in a way, got back on path, if that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I've had fun. I can't wait for next session when hopefully I get to get on my date. Hopefully.
Day 4, yeah.
Because while she's occupied with me, that means the library's empty and vacant. Others.
True.
Planning ahead.
See, look at that, an actual plan.
Yeah. I mean, it won't happen because I've said it, so screw it. I'll still be waiting for the coach to arrive to pick me up, and it'll never come, and I'll be looking all dapper. And
I just want to highlight now, you know that you're meeting her at her estate, and you're getting the coach from there.
I totally remember that.
Yes, and yeah.
Note, use from library.
Yep.
Yeah, so that makes sense for my plan to make sure the library is empty
hmm
and to witness her locking up. And as we leave, I pickpocket and drop the keys for them to get
She
in.
is meeting you at her
Oh,
estate. You aren't
damn
meeting
it.
at the library. You are meeting at her estate, where you will be ready.
You know what? This is next week's problem.
Yes, this is definitely next week's problem. Good luck, everybody, for next week. Oh God. Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah.
It will. I have all the faith, and I might even roll above a 10 again.
I mean,
Might.
you did the literal purpose of a rogue in this session, which was to pick a lock,
did.
and you did it well.
Thank
So-
my guy is a rogue. He was raised a rogue, but he doesn't really act like a rogue. You know, he sees himself as more than just a rogue.
I'm just gonna go and get that montage of every single
raised a
intro. Every single intro event is a bit of a rogue.
As in, he's got the tools
Like
to
all
do it.
20 of those possible intros on recording. Perfect. Anything else, buddy?
No, just good game as always, dude. Yeah.
Glad you're enjoying it, yeah. Oh dear. And then, last but not least, Vanger, the sensible one of the group.
Wait,
Mm,
what?
yes.
My favourite
Yeah.
part is when you were like told, make this last a long time, and you rolled incredibly well on mortar and pestle.
I mean, it happened. Look, it was more interesting
Hmm.
doing it better than I intended. So I'm glad it happened. Fuck all you hoes. Anyway, yes. So about being a sensible one. No, I had fun with that little. You know, it was really mostly one drunken conversation. I say
Mhm.
drunken. It was drunken in their part. I nursed one beer because I was still feeling like death warmed over
Mhm.
on account of being like death warmed over.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it was fun and it was productive, and we got to have a little bit of RP with the Cynthia whatever
Mhm.
exactly she is,
Yeah.
and Fleabite, which is interesting because obviously she's been coming in to the story in relation to Xarxis mostly. So it's nice to, get a little bit of connectivity because remember, of course, I wasn't there for most of that. So
Mhm.
this is a you guys thing, but now I'm getting to experience a bit of it, which is cool.
Mhm. It was Alexander's perfect reaction when Fleabite was like, "How did you get here?" And she pulls out the glowing green gem he gave her.
Yeah.
He's like, "Ah, damn." Yeah, it's good. It's good for you.
You,
Fill in the blanks.
yeah, the little bit as well where Adair was waylaid briefly. That's
Mm.
interesting. That's a bit of intrigue.
Oh, with Yotor.
It's the suggestion that maybe something did go down there after all.
So he, right, is the equivalent of a TV in a bar being left on with a news report. Just
Yeah,
in case
yeah.
anybody was wondering
Yeah, okay.
that technique.
That is what I was reading as. Yes.
Sadly,
I was
I had to have burly man who knows more.
I once played. I won't say the child's name because I don't think you should do that. But I once played D&D with a group which briefly included a child, and the child cried when there was no TV in the bar.
What?
Fair.
Yes. I think you can guess what child that might
Yes.
be.
Yes.
It was really sweet. But yeah, he didn't stick around long. He was very young. He was very young.
Yeah.
He was like 6.5. So yeah. It's like, what are you doing? Watching TV? There's no TV in this bar because.
I mean, arguably there could have been a magical.
No,
There could have been a magical entertainment crystal, right, man?
I know.
Like,
Could if you
Sure.
really wanted to. If you really desperately needed
Uh-huh.
there to be a TV, you could.
yeah.
Let's be honest. When you have a D&D in tavern, bar, whatever, it's firelit and grungy, and there's at least 3 rogues.
At
One
least.
in one corner, one in the opposite corner, one at the bar, all brooding with their hoods still up.
Arguably,
you want
the ones
that.
you don't see in the fourth corner. Yep.
Ah, yeah.
hmm
So yeah, you get a bit of that sort of. But also, it's just an interesting bar as well. Like I like the
withered spoon.
sort of sense of it being decrepit and
Mm.
fucked up. Sorry.
It's the image of the guy just sitting with a jacket on because it's an empty seat
Yeah.
at a table with the snow falling on him, just still
I just
drinking.
like that little bit of character of it, like 'cause
Mhm.
you're in what is ostensibly a very wealthy city, but then there's this bar that's just a wreck.
Mhm.
It's literally a ruin. Um,
The staff
And,
have to go somewhere.
Yep.
yeah, it's better than being in the cold. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people. There's warmth. There's at least 4 walls and
Mhm.
some
Most of
the
a roof. Yeah, most
Yeah,
of a roof.
most
Yeah.
of a roof. Even most of a roof. That's better than outside.
Mhm.
So it's just nice. It's a nice little fun flavor thing, and I liked that I got to deal with an issue in a sort of very Vanguard way, which was get the guy a drink and just ask questions with genuine interest.
Mhm.
Because Vanguard's approach to manipulation is just buy someone a drink and then ask them.
Mostly he asked you to buy him a drink as well.
Yeah, he's
just-
like, yeah, fine. Vanguard is a delight to play sometimes because he's pretty nice and he's very straightforward. And he's not an idiot by any means. Like he's,
At least you'd
he's
spoke to Utur before and you'd already kind of known what you were going to
Yeah.
expect from the interaction. Like
I've got a 1 mod in Int, right? He's not dumb. He's got 3 mod in Wiz as well, so he's
Mhm.
he's by no means dumb. He's maybe not the most educated person in the world, but that's because he's sort of like a roving priest. The only things he's read have been concerning obscure dwarven religious questions. So he might not be up in the history of anything human,
Mhm.
but no idiot is he, and so it's nice getting to play someone who's just all round quite good and quite pleasant, and dealing with a problem through sort of tell me over a beer. I think something
there's
to-
no like getting the guy in an alleyway and intimidating the answers out of him, or
no,
aye.
not that any of my characters would do that.
buying trash because you thought it was drugs and then throwing it
Well,
at
I- you know
random
what?
homeless people in alleyways. Yep, your characters would never do that.
Lyco's heart's in the right place, but he is ultimately a very edgy boy,
Mhm.
and Vanguard just isn't. Vanguard has 0 edges. Vanguard is a sphere.
Yes,
And,
he is definitely a sphere.
Those are my closing thoughts.
Excellent. I am glad for them. Also, Fleabite, you still have that sphere, by the way.
I was thinking
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably it just came back to my brain. I never said that. I thought it, but I didn't say it. You also possibly wouldn't instinctively check because I imagine you just auto-pocketed it in that space anyway.
Mm.
But yeah, I think when you go to check it on the way to wherever you went to, as yours, headed into Theo's place, or apparently not Theo's place as it's called, yeah, you'll discover that that's there too, in your pocket, just a copper sphere. Hopefully there's a spell that requires that as a component, otherwise it's a totally useless object, but I'm sure you'll find something to do with it.
Yes.
Indeed.
There's no useless objects.
But yes, thank you all for playing. I look forward to the next session as always, and goodbye everybody on Twitch. Bye bye.